Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show. Weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
Agreement by which we can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead, hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've seen other people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks. Today we have another interesting situation, y'all. Unfortunately, I have to cover things like this, y'all. There's some things that come up. You have to cover these things because, it's just about what's right and what's wrong. You don't, quote unquote, necessarily even want to do it. Okay, you don't necessarily even want to do it, but you gotta, when you have a little bit of integrity, you want to keep it real. You gotta deal with stuff that pops up. Okay, you got to deal with some of the stuff that pops up, and we're gonna deal with one of those things that popped up today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my main man, Kev over at Black Man Being Brutal. Giannis, he reminded me of this story. I was watching him last night. He reminded me of this story. I said, you know what? I do technically need to cover this story. Okay. It would be good for the people for me to cover this story. So shout out to him as a reminder that I hadn't gotten to this one yet. Okay. Hadn't gotten to this one yet. Basically, I almost let it slip through the cracks. Okay. But we're going to deal with Sha'Carri Richardson, y'all. No safe space for Black men. Okay, no safe space for Black men. All right, but before we go too far into this, let's give credit what credit is due. I appreciate everybody who supports the channel, everybody who gives me views, everyone who gives me comments, because they do help a lot. the folks who actually hit the like button, y'all know how y'all be stingy with them like buttons. Y'all need to come on with them like buttons and start hitting. Now, I understand sometimes I be rocking and rolling so good you just forget, but you got to remember to put that like button. Or even if you go watch a replay, shout out to the replay game. Make sure you hit the like button, okay? It helps. No matter how old the video is, it still helps, y'all, okay? It still likes coming from my channel. So hit it no matter what, okay? And got to say shout out to the financial supporters, and probably lost them along the way. I'm pretty sure we'll get them back, y'all. When you lose a channel, you some folks lose you and then they can't find you. But shout out to Mr. Tolbert. He is the sponsor of today's stream. Shout out to Mr. Tolbert. He is the sponsor of today's stream. Like I said, we probably lost him for a little while, but he'll eventually find us, y'all. The folks can eventually find you. It don't be right at the beginning sometimes, but eventually they can find you. So hopefully he'll find us again. So shout out to Mr. Tolbert. Okay, appreciate you big time, my brother. Appreciate you big time. I appreciate everyone who financially supports the channel, y'all. And that's real talk. All money on the wood is good over here at the Roger Report Live. Okay, and let me give some shout outs to some of the first people to check in this morning. You know what? I just put this up, not too long ago. So I knew it was going to be a race for that spot. I knew it would be a race. Okay. But hey, you got to be quick. You got to be swift on your toes around sometimes. So who gets that number one spot? My main man, Floyd Thomas, has come through, y'all. He is the Highlander of today's stream. What's going on, my brother? Yay, yay. Glad to see you in the building. Glad to see you in the building. Okay. Great to have you. Great to have you. And following Floyd, there's Sarah B. You was close, Sarah. You was close. Shout out to Sarah B. Glad to see you here. Hey, Sarah. Glad to see you here. And my main man, Chef Mike's Roundtable, is in the building. So shout out to Chef Mike's Roundtable. If you don't know, that is our pit master over here. Him and the pit crew is gonna keep stuff together. Even when we let things get a little out of pocket, he'll help us keep it together. So shout out to Chef Mike's Roundtable. Glad to see you in the building. We got Inspired Truth Broadcast here as well. Great to have you. Great to have you. Tunnel Runner is checking in. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Okay, we got Randall Robinson in the house. What's going on, my brother? What's going on, my brother from another mother? What's happening? What's happening? Trail Billy is here. He's also representing like he always do. Hashtag Lonely the Habitual Line Steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the Wilderness. Hashtag Dignity Over Vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's Baby. Hashtag Hell Hydra. Glad to have you here, brother. Glad to hear you. Glad to have you here. Afro Merchant is checking in. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. I see Shark Sims in the house. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Landon is here. Salute to you, my brother. Salute to you. Y'all, this story, y'all gonna have to forgive me for that. There are some stuff about this story. You gotta learn to laugh at life some. You gotta learn to laugh at life some. So there's some very funny parts to this particular situation, y'all. We got the one, the only. I think it's safe to say track superstar. I don't even think she's a star, y'all. I think she's a track superstar. Okay. And y'all know how it goes. Sometimes famous people gonna end up being around, regular folks. And this is another one of those situations where some famous people that ended up around some regular folks. We got the great Sha'Carri Richardson, y'all. Okay. She known for what she do on that track, y'all. She don't play no games out there on the track, y'all. Okay. She helped us with the Jamaicans, y'all. The Jamaicans be a problem, man. Shout out to all my Jamaican folks. The Jamaicans be a problem when it comes to that them track events, man. Them folks can run. They be a problem. Sha'Carri Richardson, I mean, she helps us with them, y'all. She runs that strong ankle leg, man. She runs that strong ankle leg. So as far as track and field goes, she is a superstar. She been doing the thing. She is 25 years old, y'all. Born in 2000, okay? She a millennial, baby. Born in 2000, man. 25 years old. Okay. An interesting young lady. An interesting young lady. Okay. Now for me, of course I noticed her because she's a little out there when it comes to the dressing with the well, I ain't gonna say she out there. You know, I've noticed her with the hair colors, the wigs, or dyeing her hair, whatever it is that she be doing. You know, all those tats, the long fingernails, all that type of stuff. But at least she was doing some track and field, so she was doing something that we could consider positive. Okay, you know, she had an unfortunate situation where she's been at the she was catching a flight. She had a man there with her, y'all. Her man Christian was with her. Okay, her man Christian was with her. I don't know what Sha'Carri's religious association is, if she has it. All I know is she decided to lay her hands on a Christian. Now I am not saying the gentleman I don't know if he practices Christianity or anything like that. His name just happens to be Christian. Okay, his name just happens to be Christian. That's all it is at the end of the day. Shout out to Trust, the darling of the channel, makes an appearance. Let's see what she said. She said, everyone says her name wrong, and I'm tired of trying to correct them. She doesn't even deserve it. Uh-oh, am I saying it wrong? Well, you know what? If she don't deserve it, I ain't gonna worry about it, because I would literally ask, how do you properly pronounce her name? Just to be on the up and up, but you know, but the darling of the channel says she doesn't even deserve it, so I'm gonna let that be. If y'all want to correct me, sure. But I guess this is one of the times. This is one of the times where you probably don't want your name said correctly. Okay, you probably don't want to say it correctly. If I'm committing crimes, y'all, and cops is around, don't call me by my name. Don't say Roger correct. You call me something else, okay? You call me something else. You call me Roger or something. If I'm about to get in trouble with the law, you call me something Roger, okay? Hey, Roger. Who was that? That's Roger. No relation to Roger. No relation to Roger at all. Oh, so Miss Richardson. Miss Richardson goes to the airport, y'all. This should be a simple thing, y'all. This should be a simple thing, y'all. This lady is 25 years old, okay? And I know we all don't necessarily see the same things anytime we somehow look at the same thing. We don't necessarily, we don't necessarily see the same things. Shout out to Trail Bentley. Yeah, y'all, if y'all see me and I'm having trouble with a legal situation, I'm at least French for the moment. Okay, I'm at least. Shout out to the French. But you know, we got this young lady here, y'all. We got this young lady here. Okay. Now, I don't personally like the way she has all the tattoos. I don't personally like all the different hair colors she used and all that type of stuff. I don't personally dig the long fingernails like that. But she is a track star. Okay. She is a track star. And she does represent America. So, you know, to a certain degree, I'm on team Sha'Carri because she is representing America. Okay. So I don't want my stars to go out there and have problems. Okay. I don't want my stars to go out there and have problems. And she is, like I said, she's a superstar on track and field as far as I can tell. She's a superstar. I don't even think she's just a star. She's a superstar. Okay. So my thing is, we're going to give credit what credit is due. Okay. We're going to give credit what credit is due. She's overcoming a lot and she's carving her path, you know, in the world of sports. She's just doing it in track and field. And but she got to get places, y'all. She got to get places. So yeah, she went to the airport. All right. Now, she been doing this a little while. So you would think at this particular point in time, that she would learn to conduct herself and be cool about the situation, or at least be cool at certain places, y'all. Now, I don't know how y'all grew up, but I know when I was a kid, you know, everybody do some bad stuff. I'm not saying you gotta quote unquote break the law or anything like that, but we all, everybody was a little kid. Didn't y'all do some bad stuff when y'all was little? Like some stuff that you was just told not to do. I ain't saying it's got to be the biggest thing in the world, but didn't all y'all do something bad? Didn't all y'all learn how to quote unquote not do things at certain times in certain places? Okay. I'm not saying humans is perfect. I don't believe my listening audience is perfect. I think y'all did some bad stuff too. I did some stuff I wasn't supposed to do when I was a little kid. I grew up, became a teenager, did some stuff I wasn't supposed to do. Heck, I done did some stuff I ain't supposed to do as an adult. Okay? But sometimes you go to certain places, it's like, we're going to cut that out for now. Okay? We supposed to cut that out for now. All right? Okay? You go to a police station, act right for now. You go to court, act right for now. Yeah, maybe you act the fool in other places, but for now, let's just act right. So the airport done changed a little bit ever since 2001. Okay, and maybe Sha'Carri just don't have the understanding that around the time she was born, stuff got a little different at the airport. Okay, stuff got a little bit different at the airport. I remember. Okay. Shout out to Chef Mike's round table, y'all. It's always one, y'all. It's always one. He said, nah, at the Roger Report Live, I am perfect in my imperfections. Shout out to you, Chef Mike. Yeah, but maybe she don't know, man. Maybe she don't know. Okay. The airport a little different, y'all. I remember the first time I went to the airport after 9/11, y'all. First time I went after 9/11, man. I was salty, all right? I was salty. Why? Because I'm about to take this flight. And, being a black man, I done mess around. I'm preparing for the trip. Oh, I forgot something. Let me stop and grab some lotion, right? I get a brand new bottle of lotion, right? Brand new bottle of lotion. And I don't never buy no little small stuff, y'all. I don't do that because I'm going to use it eventually. So I don't never buy like no really, really small stuff, okay? I don't buy no travel size, okay? So I just buy some lotion. I go up to the airport, brand new bottle. You know what I'm saying? Brand new bottle. They start checking the bags. They say something about the lotion, man. They say something about the lotion. I'm like, man, I just bought that lotion. But 9/11 was, I don't remember exactly how long this was from 9/11 happening, but it wasn't that far from 9/11. Y'all, it was about to be an issue because I wanted a bottle of lotion. Real talk, y'all. They was finna make an issue. I'm talking about a real issue because I wanted that bottle of lotion. I had just bought that bottle of lotion. I had not used that bottle of lotion, and they hit me with the throw it away. Okay, throw it away. They wouldn't even let me get out of line to give it away. I can't even give it to somebody. I just bought the thing. Okay. Now, I ain't saying it was super expensive. It was just, I just bought it. But I'm at the airport and they making an issue out of this lotion. Now I'm sitting there, what lotion gonna do on the flight? I don't know. I ain't saying I used to watch MacGyver growing up, but I did see at least parts of an episode or two. That man ain't never made a bond with no lotion. But I had to get that lotion up. Now, Sha'Carri is out here traveling all the time, y'all. She travels all the time now. Okay? She done, she do she do stuff on a worldwide level. She should understand at this particular point, okay, how to move through an airport. She 25 years old, man. How you not know how to move through the airport at 25? But see, the thing is, she was with her boyfriend, some guy named Christian. Now, he happens to be a track athlete too. You would think this was cool. This will make for a great couple. They got shared interests and all that type of stuff. They, at least because, they world-class athletes, they can have a little bit more time to spend with each other because they're doing the same thing. Okay. you know, Shout out to Rand Robinson. He said he used to buy the economy size bottles of lotion. He said, well, Roger used to buy the economy size bottles of lotion when he was a teenager. Yeah, I ain't never bought no economy. I don't do no economy stuff. I'm going to use mine. Okay. I'm going to use mine. Oh man. Oh man. Now, so she going through the airport, y'all. She going through the airport. This is not her first rodeo. She's 25 years old. I want y'all to understand that. She's 25 years old. Now, I told y'all, I tell young ladies, if a guy was raised by a single mother, I say you probably want to leave him alone to at least 25. Let him get out in the world for a good 7 years to kind of see how things are. So 25 is an important age. It's an important age. We should start to understand about you really an adult now. It's not at 18, you may not get in, get yourself a little bit of trouble. 19, still a little different. Oh, 20, you starting to see the light. 21, you start drinking, so you celebrate a little bit sometime. But when you get on up to 25, you're supposed to start getting a real grasp of what it is like to be an actual adult. So she out here, 25 years old, y'all, acting the fool in the airport. She acting the fool in the airport. Now, I'm not going to let you intimidate me, y'all. I'm going to tell you that right now. I ain't going to let you intimidate me. Now, it just so happens in the chat, we got the real Sha'Carri Richardson in the chat. And she said, yeah, I did it. Well, let me let you know something right now, Miss Richardson. You ain't going to intimidate me, okay? I ain't going to change up how I'm doing the broadcast just because you checking in, okay? Okay? All right. The real Sha'Carri Richardson says, who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me, boo? Well, Miss Richardson, I'm gonna let you know right now. Okay, that Christian you was with, I ain't the same Christian. Okay, I ain't the same Christian. You ain't gonna intimidate me. You ain't gonna make me change nothing about this broadcast. That's real talk. You ain't gonna intimidate me. You talk to that other Christian if you want to intimidate somebody, but you ain't gonna intimidate me, okay? So y'all, she 25 years old, and she don't know how to act in the airport. Okay. Now, Sha'Carri been getting a name for a while now, y'all. She's been getting a name for some years now. She should know how to act in the airport. The airport is one of the last places in America that you should be up there messing around. Let's just keep it real. Like I said, a police station, you shouldn't be messing around. A courtroom, you shouldn't be messing around. Federal buildings, you shouldn't be messing around. Okay? The airport is a place that the general society should have a good understanding that you ain't supposed to be messing around. Okay? Shout out to the real Sha'Carri Richardson. She say, well, what you need to do is unblock Red Pill Sleeper Cell. You know what? I'm definitely on that. I do apologize. It ain't happened yet. I do apologize. It ain't happened yet. I've been super busy, but I do apologize. I've been looking for that, but I've been running into a little bit of trouble myself. So it ain't personal. You know it ain't personal. Okay? You know it ain't personal. Okay? I've been having a little trouble with the system myself. So hopefully that clears up soon. Now, y'all, Sha'Carri done act the fool. She done got into it with her man. Okay? Now that she done act the fool and got into her man, y'all, I want y'all to see that there is no safe space for black men, y'all. No matter what the scenario is, it's just no safe space for black men, because y'all got to understand she's doing stuff from this mental perspective that she's good with. Okay, she's doing stuff from this mental perspective that she's good with. So Sha'Carri thinks she's supposed to be able to go to the airport. Okay, now I understand people ain't necessarily planning to argue at the airport. Well, you don't necessarily plan to argue at the airport, but people are human. Sometimes arguments happen. Okay, so this one happens at the airport. All right. Now, what happened to the little quiet voice, especially for a black woman, y'all? Ain't a black woman, don't they all got that little quiet, angry voice? Didn't you see that from your mama when you was growing up? Don't you know the quiet, angry voice? Where they yelling at you, but they not doing it they not doing it at high value, but you understand you being yelled at. Like, what happens to that? To cut it out. Now, she having her argument. For some reason, she got to put her hands on the man. Okay. For some reason, she got to put her hands on the man. Okay. It is what it is, man. She can't just have this argument. Now, she said it was over like a pair of headphones. Is it really that serious? For you, out of all people, is it really that serious? Was this about proving a point? Was there a principle in this? Like, what was going on that a pair of headphones was so important at this particular time that you put your hands on your man at the airport? Now, I'm not saying something could have been going on. Maybe it was I understand the principle. Sometimes it's about the principle of something. But this your man. Did your man have your headphones and it bothered you that you packed your headphones in his luggage to the point that you got to push him at the airport? Like, you really can't chill out and express whatever anger that was. Okay. And I'm sure it ain't just about no headphones, because y'all know how it is when women argue. It's about what happened today. It's about what happened last week. It's about what happened 13 months ago. It's about, something happened to me before I even met you. Women wrap a lot of stuff into something. So she says about the headphones. Is it truly about the headphones? Probably not. Okay. But the thing is, this is a world-class athlete, y'all. This is a world-class athlete. She is blessed enough to be a world-class athlete. All right. She's 25 years old. She got $1 million deals out there. Multi-million-dollar deals. Life-changing money. Okay. Technically, some generational wealth. And we tripping over headphones. Okay. We tripping over headphones. Now I'm going to say, I'm going to say this, y'all. You know what, y'all? You know what? Since I just put this up, I forgot to add that link, man. Let me throw a link so people in the chat can join the panel if they like to. I forgot to add that link. I'm jumping on it right now, y'all. I'm jumping on it right now. I know I put this up a little late. I'm jumping on it right now. So the folks who got something to say can come up and say what they want to say. All right. So she a world-class athlete, right? Now, I don't know about her family background, but don't you want to make your mama proud? You a world-class athlete. You've been known for a few years now. It ain't new to her. She's been doing this a while. And you mean you want to go home, look your mama in the eye after getting arrested at the airport? That's crazy work to me, man. That's some crazy work. You want to go look your mama in the eye and have to explain why you got arrested at the airport? I don't know what kind of mamas everybody else got, but I ain't got to be no world-class athlete for my mama to be upset that I done got arrested at the airport. Okay. I don't have to be a world-class athlete for that. My mama just don't want me acting a fool at the airport. And that's what my mama gonna call it. She gonna say, why is you acting a fool at the airport? Okay? Now, I know I'm grown, and I ain't got to listen to my mama. I don't. But I still actually respect my mother. You know? And when you're right, you're right. Because would I be okay with if I got kids at the airport, would I be okay with them acting a fool? Nope, not at all. Not at all. Okay, and I would tell them to act right as well. All right, y'all, I'm about to jump on these cash apps. I got a second reminder. So I'm about to go into them right now, y'all. Okay? But I wouldn't expect my children to act no fool at the airport. Now, if you're getting arrested, my thing is you acting a fool. Okay? Don't be acting a fool. If you get arrested, there should be at least some story about how it's not actually your fault, but it needs to be true. Not just telling me it ain't your fault. It needs to really not be your fault. Okay? It really needs to not be your fault. But that's not the case in her situation. She wanted to come act a fool. And, that's on her at the end of the day. All right? Now, we actually got a guest coming up right now. We got my main man, Debonair, is actually entering the building. So, Debonair, how you doing, my brother? I'm going to let you jump on the mic right away while I pull up these as soon as I give out these cash outs real quick, let me do these because I don't need nobody throwing nothing at me. Let me get these cash outs out real quick, and then I'm going to give you the mic. So, shout out to FLX. Appreciate you, my brother. He sends the $2 he says for wrench fun. Laugh out loud. FLX, you know what? I got you, brother. I got you. If you deserve one. So I got you, brother. I'll get you in 1 second. Okay. Shout out to my main man. He's Red Pill Sleeper said, I thought we was cool. I'm still blocked. Man, we is cool. Don't put it on me, man. Okay. I've been having a little trouble with the scissor. It is not me. We is definitely cool. But he hits me with the $10, y'all. He hit me with the $10 to say, I thought we was cool. I'm still blocked. So now I got to say, man, we cool, man. It ain't like that. It ain't like that, my brother. It's definitely not like that. And we got another $2 from FLX. He says, for penal system for Sha'Carri, #thug. Okay, well, are we gonna throw Sha'Carri into the thug category? I don't know if we gonna do that right now. I know if she was her brother, she probably already been called a thug all over the news and whatnot. So are we gonna throw it in there right now? That's an interesting thing to think about. Are we gonna call her a thug already? But let me get a vote to Debonair, brother, and Red Pill Sleeper said, I'm gonna go in there right now and try to get you unblocked, my brother. I'm gonna try to get you unblocked as we're going in the show. Go ahead, Debonair. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Thanks for letting me up early on the show. I know you like to typically warm up before guys hop on the panel.
Oh, no problem. Especially for you, my brother. Especially for you.
Appreciate it, man. So what I wanted to interject is, not interject, but introduce is the idea that even though we shouldn't promote the idea. We should be folks that call everything a skit or say that brothers messed up in XYZ kind of way for anything that happens. Because oftentimes when we do go down that path, we don't end up actually addressing the actual problem. But in this particular case, even though it goes without saying, and there's a more important point that you want that speaks to the topic of the show. But in certain cases, you when you come across guys like Christian Coleman, he's been a world-class athlete for many years. He's been at the top of his field for essentially 10, 15 years. He's been around for a long time. I follow track a little bit. And when you think about the fact that somebody of that level of prestige, that somebody of that level of notoriety would turn around and get with a Sha'Carri Richardson, a woman that doesn't even carry herself like a woman that has so many of these other weird issues, is just sometimes as brothers as well too, there is a limit to the benefit of the doubt. There is a limit to the broader lesson. And when you see guys like Christian Coleman or even Anthony Edwards in the news for the kinds of like situations they're in with these women, it really does look like we're just too naked and aimless on a battlefield. Essentially, there are too many brothers. No matter how wealthy they get, they just don't understand the nature of the situation that we have with our counterpart. And I'll leave it there.
Well, I'm gonna say this. The thing about money is it don't fix everything. Somebody can give you a ton of money, but that just doesn't change your character. You are who you are, and you got to learn to be different about different things. So the thing is, you got regular dudes coming into some money, a lot of money real quick, but they still a bunch of young cats at the end of the day. So the way I look at it, young cats gonna do young cat stuff. And if you have not been previously prepared for the world you're about to deal with, especially when you become a world famous person or you get into professional athletes or something, or if you're competing for Olympic medals and things like that, it ain't like our family trained us on how to conduct ourselves in those situations. And most of the time, you're not going to have men told how to steer clear of certain women, which is kind of why we do. Well, at least I know for myself some of the reason that I do what I do right now, because I know ain't no man told these guys what to do. Now, I'm not saying anything about her personally right at this moment. Sha'Carri Richardson already wrote her off the first time I seen her, as far as somebody I would talk to. Why? Because I seen her with the wild hair colors. I seen the long nails. I seen a bunch of tattoos. We got nothing to talk about. Now, does that mean she's a terrible person? No. That just tells me how she likes to represent herself. And she represents herself like a bunch of people I don't want to hang out with. Okay? I personally don't like hanging out with women who got tattoos all over the place. Just not my crowd. Not saying every woman with tattoos is a bad person. There are some who just believe it's a very sexy thing and they have a bunch of tattoos because they think in those terms. But I have been around a bunch of women with some tattoos and they're just terrible people at the end of the day. So for me, I don't even want to take the chance that she's a terrible person. You look too much like them. I'm good. So I wouldn't talk to her. But, guys are guys. These are not older guys. They're going to do this stuff because they're young at the end of the day. And, until you get out there in the world and start experiencing some stuff, especially if you got your mama lying to you your whole life, I can totally see why it is going to go that way. Now, would he be doing the same thing 5-10 years from now? Probably not. Okay. Because now he has to deal with a reality that got out. And I think that's going to be the real thing for this gentleman, Christian. The thing is, see, it's public now. You can go through a lot of stuff when it's quiet. And I think black men do go through a lot of stuff when it's quiet because black men have a record of not breaking up with women. So I think they do go through a lot of stuff. I'm the only person in my friend group that's ever broke up with a woman. Okay. I don't know no other brother who has. I have not met men off the street who broke up with women. It is very uncommon for any black man to break up with a woman. So I have to believe, that being the case, that black men go through a lot of stuff with women. So the thing is, we're used to it from a cultural perspective. And I'm trying to do what I can to help change that culture. So, but I will say this, y'all. I never blame somebody else for the thing that somebody else did. The reason this is a story is because Sha'Carri thinks that black men have no safe space. It is okay for her to attack them at any moment, anytime, clearly any place. Because the last thing you should be trying to do is put your hands on somebody at the airport. If you run into the quote unquote, you run into the ops at the airport, y'all supposed to squash that till y'all get somewhere else. You ain't supposed to fight it out in the airport. Okay? You see somebody you clearly don't like. They clearly don't like you. Y'all talk crazy to each other. Hey, it's on site. Okay? When I see you, it's on site. But if you at the airport, is it on site? How about it's off site? We're going to let this one go. It'll be on site next time. Because we're not going to do no on site here at the airport. The airport is just a different beast. And my thing is, Sha'Carri is too old and she's been famous a little too long to not have an understanding that the airport is a different beast. Now, maybe something was going on, and maybe he was, quote unquote, holding her headphones hostage. Because, we don't know the details on that. But at the end of the day, whatever's going on with her, and she's a big brand name. Now, I don't know who Christian is. I just found out, okay, Christian is the guy she's with. But he's also a world-class athlete. Now, I don't follow track and field like that. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. Sha'Carri is huge. Okay? Christian don't have the name that Sha'Carri has. She's huge. She should have kept she should have kept her hands to herself. Simply, if nothing else, simply for not damaging her own brand. That's her own money that she put at risk. Now, the thing is, y'all, she clearly, at least in her mind, based on what we can tell, she clearly believes that you can mess with a black man anywhere. Because why would you do that at the airport? And then she made a statement like, well, actually made a couple of them. So y'all gonna arrest me? But he's the man. She literally told, this is amazing, y'all. Like, I tell y'all, black women they are unhealthy people. You know what I'm saying? From a mental standpoint, they are unhealthy people. I talked about some delusion yesterday. I did a whole show about how they just mentally don't be there. She literally told the police, y'all. If y'all watch the link I'll put into the description, she literally told the police, my phone is in my bag. I think that's what she said. My phone is in my bag. But she said, I have a recording. It will show you something different than what the airport recording was. Okay? That's what she said, y'all. I have a recording. Okay? My recording tells a different story than the airport's recording, even though they both happen at the same time. What world do you live in where this recording that happened at the exact same time is going to be something different? Now, I can understand somebody saying, well, I got a different point of view. I got something in my camera, that you couldn't see in your camera. But to say it's going to show us something different? Come on, man, you off the deep end. Okay, you are off the deep end. Okay? That's just not real world. That is just not real world. Okay, you're a little off the deep end in these situations. Now, this is the thing, y'all. She 25. This ain't no kid no more, man. Okay? I understand even young adults don't have certain understandings about, their relationship to the adult world for a period. That's why I say, young men who was raised by women probably need to be out in the world amongst men for at least 7 years. 7 years can teach you a lot. 18, 7, 25. Okay? So she's at an age where she's been in the world for a while. She should understand what's going on to a certain degree. And she's a person who's famous. Okay, you've been famous for a while now. It's not like she just got famous 3 months ago. She's been famous for a while. When's she gonna put it together? But see, the thing is, I told y'all, and I've said it time and time again, and I'm gonna continue to say it, your subconscious rules you. So Sha'Carri, consciously, I'm sure she knows you shouldn't be doing anything at the airport. I'm pretty sure consciously she believes that. Okay. But the thing is, subconsciously, she believes that you should be able to beat up on a black man no matter what, even if he's Christian. Now, I don't know if the dude is an actual Christian or anything. It's just his name, okay? I don't know that I don't know nothing about what his religious background is. I would assume Christian, maybe, you know what I'm saying? It's good chances of it, but I don't know any of that to be true. I'm not saying she attacked him because he a Christian. It's just he was a black man. So to Miss Richardson, He's a nigga. See, and this is something that I know is harder for black men to see, but we got to be woke up about these different things. He's in a relationship with this woman, but the woman looks at him as a nigga. Okay? She's a nigga to him. You can do what you want to him. Now, why are you trying to take headphones from this man at the airport? If they're in his luggage, the one thing I can understand is, okay, you pack whatever your convenience reason was for packing it in his luggage. Okay, where's the leadership at? If he don't want you to have the headphones, chill out. I don't know if the thing is he could have been talking to you. She might have been trying to put the headphones on just to specifically ignore him. That would mean in her mind, that's not her leader. That's not her leader. Okay, she's displaying that's not her leader. Okay. Now, why does she need to do that? Because she got to let that nigga know what's up. Look, nigga, I know you can run too, but I'm famous. Okay, I get it. Okay, you can run too, but I'm famous. Okay, no matter how fast you are, I'm the head nigga in charge. Okay. The real Sha'Carri Richardson in the chat says, I own him. He's my property. Now, that's a thought process that I'm pretty sure resides with her. Because y'all, we got to think about this thing. How bold you got to be to put your hands on somebody at the airport. I understand there's people who like to feel that they hard. They like to feel like they tough. Okay. They like to get it on. There's some folks out there who like to squabble. But who squabbles at the airport? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I come across you and I absolutely hate you, I may want to hit you in your mouth soon as I see you. But if we at the airport, that ain't finna happen. Okay. I'm not gonna hit somebody at the airport. Y'all know how much trouble you can get into hitting somebody at the airport. But she famous. She got multi-millions of dollars of deals on the table. And she just like, nah, I'm gonna get him anyway. Cause I can't let it go. I got to check this nigga right now. This nigga getting a little too big for his britches. Y'all, is there a safe space for black men? Is there? Because if I'm not safe at the airport, with all the different stuff that go on with the airport, y'all, if I can't go to the airport and not be touched, am I safe anywhere? Now, this is the thing, y'all. Botham John got shot in his own home. White police officer come in his home, came into his apartment, saying she thought it was hers, even though she saw none of her stuff in there, killed that man. The man wasn't safe in his own home. I got to catch a flight. I can't necessarily go to the airport and get through on time. I thought the airport was the one place everybody had a clear understanding. You do not put your hands on anybody. and you know what? Who tells me everybody doesn't have that clear understanding? Now, I could understand if it was like a child. I get that. If it was a kid, I understand. Kids don't understand the world like adults do. I totally understand that. Shout out to Dolomite. Dolomite said, now y'all, you're talking about Christian in this. Roger, understand. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. I'm pretty sure that was the attitude she takes with him. I'm pretty sure that is the attitude that she takes with him. Yeah, you might can run a little bit, but you ain't no Sha'Carri Richardson. Okay, you just ain't no Sha'Carri Richardson. But my main man, Tunnel Runner Rodell, has come to join us. So let me go ahead and let him get the mic. What's going on, Tunnel Runner? How you doing, my brother?
Everything is good, sir. Everything is good.
Stay away from the airports, man. They violent right now. They violent. Stay out the airports, okay?
Well, I was just there with my wife, and she was very nice to me. So, she didn't try to hit me or nothing. and I did have a headset. And she asked me for him. I gave it back. I gave it to her and let her hold it. And she asked me very sweetly and very kind. She was very nice, peaceful woman.
Now that's how stuff's supposed to go. I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. So you can walk with your woman in the airport and everything gonna be all right, huh?
Everything gonna be all right. She knows how to play the game. She's on code. She's on my code.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. Now, why can't Sha'Carri just do something that simple? Why she can't just do something that's why we got to fight at the airport over some headphones, y'all? I mean,
it comes down to, even though she's an athlete and she's trained to run track, I don't think she's been trained by her mother to be a wife or to be a good girlfriend or be a good mate. I don't think she's been trained by the community to be a good mate to a black man. I think the training for that is lacking.
I would have to agree with that. And I'm going to just say straight up, y'all. I mean, when I first saw who she was, I like track. I like somebody fast. Okay. I was cool with all that part, but it was just the hair. I was like, what's up with this lady? That was my thing. What's up with this lady? You competing at the top levels and you got your hair looking crazy like that. But hey, it is what it is. There are indicators out there, y'all. Now, I know a lot of people say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Okay. But see, a lot of times people use sayings like that out of context. Okay. Because when they said you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, they were talking about if the cover is a little raggedy. That doesn't necessarily mean it ain't a good book. Okay. What they did not mean, if you read the title of the book, that you may not have an idea of what's in the book. You absolutely judge a book by its cover. You look at the title that should be on the cover. Okay. This book is a horror story. Yes. Okay. I get this book because the title says it's about horror. Okay. Yeah. You judge the book by its cover. Okay. That's what you do. Okay.
Yeah, and Roger, she had some acts. It's not even just the way she looks, but she had some actions before she even met this guy that was telling you she was going in the wrong direction. She was with, seems to be with two other women before him, out and openly with two other women before she even met this guy. And one of those affairs was a violent one where she attacked a fellow woman, one of her sisters. So there was trouble from the get-go. It was her actions and not just the way she looks, but the things that she had presented and were out there in the public. This wasn't even stuff that was done quietly behind the scenes. This was stuff done that out in the open, known by many, a lot of the people in that track community.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to just let something go, y'all. Sometimes you got to just let something go. So basically, what you saying to me? She was publicly in a relationship with two other women at some point, and at least with one of those women, she put hands on her too.
Correct.
Come on, Sha'Carri. Come on, Nancy. I can't get nothing, y'all. I can't even watch track with some. Go ahead.
Roger, she's not also serious about the track because when she had I believe her mother died, one of her family members died, and then she was saying she was smoking the marijuana right before the Olympics, the track event, and she was disqualified. That's why she wasn't in the last Olympics.
Yeah, I do. Now I remember that story. Now I'm gonna say this: for a weed smoker, I'm somewhat understanding because they think they needed to get past that situation, so I could understand that. And see, my thing is, I do make room for anything that includes death or hospitals. Her mama died. I'm gonna give her some room to mourn her mama dying. I'm not gonna even just put that as just quote unquote regular behavior. Now, it could have been regular behavior, but I ain't going to do that to her. Your mama died. People mourn in all kinds of crazy ways sometimes. So if she got to smoke a little bit because her mama died, I'm going to let that go. Now, shout out to I'm listening. He says, no excuse, Roger. Not. Hey, y'all, I've said plenty of times, I don't believe in excuses. But if somebody dies or you go to the hospital, I will be understanding to that. To me, those are not excuses. Your mama dying is not an excuse. That's just an event. That's an event that happened in your life, and you gonna change some of the stuff that you're doing when you find out your mama died. I totally get that. So my thing is, I can let you off the hook for smoking because your mama died, but your mama ain't gonna die but once. You know.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like, I can give you room for certain situations, but how many times is the person you know gonna die? You can't tell me your mama died 3 times. You know, she only gonna die once. Okay, so it is what it is. I can let that slide. You know, so I ain't gonna even trip. Your mama died. I'm giving you a break. Now, I'm not saying she really smoked because her mama died. I'm just saying because of how it came out and her mama did actually die. I'm just gonna look the other way on that one. Cool. That's your way of mourning. May not make sense to me. I can accept it. Okay. It is what it is. Because your mama ain't gonna die next week. You know? Now, my thing is, Christian, since he's also in that same world, I would hate to think that he knows that she's a violent woman and then got with her. That's now my thing is that's not making a good choice. You know? But I will also look at this, y'all. This is the unfortunate part. You got to also be realistic with yourself. What black woman ain't violent? What's the chance of you actually meeting a young black woman in America that is not violent? We don't think about that type of stuff too, which we should a whole lot more. Okay? A lot of them are violent. And as I said before, once they put their hands on you, they not going to stop until somebody makes them stop. When they start hitting you, now luckily she was just at the pushing mode. She hadn't started hitting yet. Because if she'd have hit them, she wasn't going to stop till somebody pulled her off. You know, as far as I know, black women's record when it comes to hitting a man, 100% of them will not stop unless they're forced to. Somebody literally has to physically stop them from hitting a man. You know, now I know guys try to do the quote unquote right thing. Christian had a choice to make. They came to Christian and say, you know, basically what's happening. Christian also, man, we good. Don't even worry about it. It ain't even that serious. Now, as y'all, if you looked at the video, you could clearly see how Sha'Carri blamed Christian for everything. You told them I did this. You told them I did that. You having me arrested. The police officers I can hear the police clearly saying, this out of his hands. He ain't got nothing to do with this. We got you on camera. We got to take you in. It's protocol and procedure. And she mad at him because she put her hands on him in public at an airport. And they saw the footage, but somehow it's his fault that she getting arrested. Okay? You see them when they start walking her out. Christian, how could you do this? Christian, this is your fault. We just had an argument. It's not that serious. See, when she was getting what, and I want y'all to really pay attention how the words and the games was being played in such a short period of time of just her having the realization that she going to jail. Like, this is for real. And she, you know, the way I viewed it, y'all, I think she really did try to pull out that name recognition thing. And I don't think the cops knew who she was. It's just that simple at the end. I just don't think they knew who she was. She just didn't come out and say right from Jump Street that I'm famous. Now, my thing is this, you probably should have. Okay? You probably just should say, look, I'm famous. I'm an athlete. I represent America. You know, I need to hurry up and get on up out of here. You probably should have used your famous car. Now, the thing is, you don't know if the famous car gonna work at any given time, especially on some people who don't recognize you. But heck, if you got the card, well, as black men, if you got the card, use it. All right. You might as well see if it's gonna help. If they already finna take you to jail, you might as well see if it's gonna help. Okay, you might as well see. All right. And shout out to FLX. Oh, dang it. I just knocked it out. Got a couple more cash outs for him. He says, with another $2 cash app. Okay, boom, boom. He said, airport recordings are just so 80s, Raj. Well, I guess that's why we got to use the one off her phone that tells us a different story, right? And he said another $2 cash app. He says, in the wreck, she jumped off the top ropes. Well, I guess she felt she could do that, okay, because it's a black man. So therefore, nobody should stop me from putting my hands on him. And even though he never hit me back, now see me, I would have went into defense mode. We'd have been going to jail over something if it was me, okay? It wouldn't have been a whole lot of questions if it was me. Once you put your hands on me, it's on, okay? It's on, all right? Now I'm going to be realistic. If it's at the airport, would I really do? Maybe not at the airport. Maybe I let that slide at the airport because getting in trouble at the airport is like a different beast nowadays. So yeah, maybe at the airport, I'm gonna let that go. Okay. Yeah. Now shout out to DN3001. Okay. Well, actually, it's 30,001. He said, Christian, are you serious right now? Y'all, the dude name is Christian. Y'all. There's multiple people in the comment section saying something about Christian. The guy name is Christian, y'all. Where y'all at? His name is Christian. The guy she pushed and got arrested for, his name is Christian. It's not even about Christians as a religion. Why y'all trying to be shocked and don't even know what's going on? Okay, if you're gonna be shocked, know what's going on to be properly shocked. Okay. You ain't heard nobody say nothing about a Christian. Go ahead.
Roger, she is a world-class athlete. She is a strong woman. She's one of the, to be that fast, to be that, and she's an athlete of high caliber. And when she pushed him, and he's an athlete, she moved that man. So don't think that, we should be thinking that this woman, when she pushes you, it's like a regular woman pushing you. This is a athlete, a high capable athlete, one of the top sprinters in the world. She can move somebody. She can hurt somebody.
Yeah, especially if she put them legs into it. She got some strong. We can't say her legs ain't strong. She got some real strong legs. You put your legs into it, yeah, that's gonna move a man. So that is a great point. It ain't just a regular push. It's a push that it made a crowd of people start looking at them. That's what type of push it was. It wasn't no he just pushed me, but we've been together 10 years and he loved me and I really couldn't make a move nowhere. Or maybe he took 1 foot back. I'm pretty sure he went down. Okay. She's not the weakest woman.
Yeah, she got some workout videos. She's lower and upper body and midsection. She's working out. She ain't no regular woman.
Yeah, and that's real talk. Trust says she needs to be set down for a while. Well, you know what? This is the thing. She is a woman. Okay, she is a woman. So what's gonna actually happen to her? Truth be told, a whole lot of nothing so far. A whole lot of nothing. Now, my thing is, black men do need to see how she was moving. Because when she started the realization that she has to go to jail, when she started to really kind of get that pitch, and maybe she would have got a warning, but a lot of folks got them body cams now. So now you in multiple officers, so multiple officers see what's going on. So it's like you can't really even just give a warning sometime like that. You got to do by policy. And see what the body cam do is make the police actually follow policy. That's what that body cam do. It make them police have to follow policy sometimes. So yeah, she got to go to jail. She got to go to jail. When she started realizing she got to go to jail. Now, this is the crazy part. She blaming Christian, but she pushed him. That's what made the people react. Christian didn't call the police on her. The people called the police. Christian had nothing to do with it. Christian made some statements. He tried to protect her in his statements. It ain't even that big a deal. Y'all can basically just let this go. See, Christian trying to protect her the whole time. Now, as she's talking, the crazy work is she blamed Christian. The police say, no, this ain't up to him. This is policy. We got to take you in. Somehow it's still Christian fault. They said multiple times more. She's still blaming Christian. Christian, you really gonna do this? Who does that sound like she blaming, y'all? And this is the magical way that black women operate, y'all. And I want y'all to see this real good. I hope y'all see this real close. The police is right there. They literally saying to her, he has nothing to do with this. We got to take you in. It's policy. And she looks at Christian. And I tell y'all, this is how you know black women look at police as the white man. You know, it ain't like black men don't. I'm not saying we don't. We understand the government, quote unquote, is that white man. She looked at that white man. And then she looked at Christian. And she said, Christian, why are you doing this to me? Did y'all hear her say that? Christian, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, she said
Christian
that, Roger. While she said that while they telling her, we got you on video. She said, well, why are you doing this to me, Christian? And they telling her, we see it on the video. We asked you, was there any physical thing going on? And you said no. And we can see you pushing the man. We don't you, but she's still hollering out, Christian. They gonna let them do that to me. They gonna do that, Christian. Well, I mean, it's a psychological barrier that she has that she doesn't understand. Well, no, I ain't gonna even say that. But she's just being she's just being one of those
it just ain't the white man's fault no matter what. The white man is not bad. The white man is good. We as black folks, we look at the government as the quote unquote the white man. She looked at that white man. She looked at Christian. She said, I only see one nigga. Christian, why are you doing this?
Exactly.
I know it ain't the white man doing it to me. They started taking her down that hall. She explained herself, talking about, can I do this? Can I do that? I'm not trying to resist. And I got to give her credit. The way she was putting, which I don't necessarily believe is how she talks on a regular basis. She was definitely holding on to that. I'm trying to sound like a sweet valley girl thing. Now, I ain't never really heard her speak, so I can't say she don't actually sound like that. I'm going to say she was definitely keeping it up the whole time. So shout out to her for that. And she was gonna keep it up the whole time, like, no, I'm just this wonderful, sweet woman, and I don't do this stuff. But man, when them cops told her multiple times, look, he ain't got no choice. You gotta go to jail. Christian, why are you doing this? Now, the crazy part is she done blame Christian for the whole thing. There's no way to not have an understanding that she don't accept that this is 100% Christian's fault. Now, I know y'all may be saying, well, how can it be Christians? No, I'm talking about what she is showing us she has an understanding of. Her words mean something. She is giving us the understanding that in her mind, this is 100% Christian's fault. And you know what the conclusion she came to? Well, can Christian bail me out? Christian, this is your fault. I got to go to jail because of Christian. I don't want to talk to Christian again. I guess we got to break up. It's over with. Screw Christian at the end of the day. And then she said, but can Christian come down and bail me out? Did y'all catch? Maybe y'all ain't catch it till I just said it, but do you see how her mind is operating? The police has surrounded her, told her multiple times, this ain't about Christian no more. We got you on camera putting your hands on him. We walk down the hall. It still ain't suck in. And you say, well, it's just us arguing. It's a domestic thing. It shouldn't be no big deal. Christian ain't trying to send you to jail. You literally sent yourself to jail based on the footage on that camera. But even though you're blaming Christian, Well, Christian still my nigga. Can my nigga come bail me out? I got places to go and people to see. I ain't resisting. Can my nigga come bail me out? Y'all, that to me, that's the crazy work in all this. That's the crazy. So Christian ain't safe nowhere. Okay. Yeah. I went with this title just to kind of keep myself a little civil, y'all, because it was all type of stuff that went in my mind about what the title of this really should be. So I was like, okay, let me be cool to a certain degree. But do y'all understand? Christian ain't safe nowhere. Christian not even safe at the airport. Now you would think that if you love a person, you're in a relationship with a person, y'all are somewhat close, that you could at least get to the airport without somebody putting their hands on the other person. You would think at least at the airport with all this stuff, that it would be okay. Serious Ross say, facts, Roger. She pulled all the stereotypical things we say black women do. Well, the thing is, y'all, this wasn't no stereotype. This is actually a famous lady, a superstar lady, a rich lady. Okay? Y'all, the real Sha'Carri Richardson, I got to read this. I'm just curious, y'all. I got to read what the real Sha'Carri Richardson said. It was his fault. I should have been allowed to treat my property as I deem fit. Now, as crazy as that sound, the way it played out at the airport was that not her actual thought process, y'all? Think about that. Was that not her actual thought process?
Roger, as they walking her out, when they're telling her that it's her fault that she caught on film, she's like, well, I got my own camera, and you need to take him. She wants him to go to jail. And they're telling her, we got you on camera. We don't know. She wanted him to go to jail too. She did not want to go by herself.
Right, at least
wanted him to come out here and save
with
her.
me.
She wants him to save her, but she wants to put him in jail. That's her thought. Forget about him. He's not even a person.
Wait. I'm the woman. He's the man.
Exactly. And I mean, Roger, pretty much this is what happened with me and my wife, because she forgot her headsets and that ones that I brought for her, and then she come asking me for mine, and I just, I handle it. I had an extra pair. I had 3 pairs, and I gave her one because I already know she was going to forget hers.
Shout out to Boot Camp. Boot Camp say, she's like, Christian, why you make me hurt my arm pushing you? Well, that thought process is clearly there, y'all. That thought process is clearly there. There is nothing Christian could have did in this situation, y'all. There's nothing Christian could do. Because I get people wanting to be the man's fault. What else could Christian do? Okay? Christian don't snap off. Now, I would think myself, I would snap off if somebody like a Sha'Carri Richardson pushes me. But I am going to say it's at the airport. Maybe I do let this go, y'all, because it's at the airport. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to even have to admit that because I don't want nobody trying to catch me at the airport slipping. But at the airport, that just ain't the right place to fight, man. All this can wait. That's my thing. If it's that serious, we got to fight. Not that I expect to be fighting anybody at this point. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to fight nobody at this point in my life. But I'm just saying in general, if it's going to happen at the airport, we could just chill, man. It ain't that serious that we got to do it at the airport. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how much stuff that's going to wrap you up in, because it's probably going to wrap you up in some TSA stuff. It's probably going to wrap you up in some Homeland Security stuff. And it's probably going to wrap you up in some federal stuff. I don't know, and I don't want to find out. It's that simple at the end of the day. I don't want to find out. So, we ain't got to do all this at the airport. We can talk about this, and, if we just got to fight, we do that somewhere else, man. We got to do that somewhere else. We're not doing it. But in her mind, even the airport ain't safe for you because you a nigga. Now, the thing is, Christian Coleman, which I didn't even know his last name till Debonair brother said, hopefully he hears a show like this, or hopefully he hears this show and just say, you know what? Yeah, she is getting a lot of riches and fame, but if I keep messing with her, I'm probably gonna do prison time. Cause this is the thing, y'all. And this is where black men have unfortunately gotten too soft, and we fall into this manipulation that we got the same problem with police that black women do. I have told y'all, I used to have the mindset you do not call the police on black folks. If you black, you just don't call the police. Okay, it's gonna be bad for y'all. But then I realized, no, black women have a totally different relationship with the police. Their relationship with the police is extremely different than ours. Now, look what happened in this situation. The police came out. They had to follow policy, so they had to take her in. And I don't assume they would have took her in just because of what happened at the airport. I assume the reason they truly took her in is because everything's on body cams now, so they can't act like they didn't see certain stuff. And if there's a policy, which they kind of alluded to, that if you put your hands on somebody, they got to take you in. Well, once that's been said, and once they done seen the evidence and they got body cams on, they can't act like they didn't see that. I think if this would have happened years ago before all these cameras was everywhere, they probably would have just let her go. That's what I honestly believe. They'd have just let her go. You know, just would have been over with. But they just didn't have a way to do that and necessarily keep their job easy. So now they got to do something about it. Now, Christian won't testify against her. He will not cooperate as a witness. So you know what they did? They dropped everything. All right. Now, I'm not saying that's the wrong thing. You know, they dropped everything. Whew, if black men could get stuff like that to happen. Okay. If the witness won't cooperate, so we just gonna drop it. Woo! Shout out to Jonathan Majors. That's all I'm gonna say, y'all. Shout out to Jonathan Majors. If we could just get it to drop sometime. Okay. And the unfortunate situation about this is that, you know, now, I was listening to Black Men Being Brutally Honest. You know, he checked on the situation, y'all. He reported that Nike has actually decided they're gonna rock with Sha'Carri. It wasn't no big whoop about the fact that she had an incident at the airport. It wasn't no big deal. Okay. Now he also threw out some other names of some women who kind of got in a little bit of trouble, but Nike stood by those women. So I guess Nike stand by its women. You know, I guess Nike stands by it. Okay. You know, now I ain't gonna tell Nike how to make their money. They do what they want to do at the end of the day. They do what they want to do. Okay. It is what it is. I don't know what black men is supposed to do if we don't fight back, y'all. Now I understand there'll be people who'll be like, well, it wasn't that big a deal. You know, it's cool that Christian let it go. Now, my thing is this, y'all. If a woman calls the police on you, the right thing to do is leave that relationship. Let's just keep that real. If the woman calls the police on you, the right thing to do is to leave that relationship. Now, in this situation, she didn't necessarily call the police on him. The people did. You know, she did this in a public place. The people called on him. It wasn't her. So I can't say she actually did it, but I will say this, y'all. I will say this. The stuff she was saying, like the footage that I'm seeing right now, like if I'm dude and I see this footage, you know, and I don't know how long they've been together, maybe he really do love her or something. Maybe he want to have babies with her. Maybe he on some, you know, she track and field, I'm track and field. We're going to have some good, strong babies and we're going to be, you know, our children going to set world records like it's nothing. Maybe all that's going through his head, but man, what I see her say on that film, The way she blamed him, even though the police was right there saying, look, this is out of his hands. And how do you get with her and just keep going? Unfortunately, I think he got to break up with her or he's going to jail, y'all. That's what I really believe. If this man don't get away from her, he going to end up in prison. Now, if you being a world-class athlete too, do you want the fame of being this famous lady's boyfriend? Or do you want to make your own money, even if it's not as much as her? This might be a situation where Sha'Carri Richardson will make far more than Christian Coleman. Okay? Because of notoriety. Okay? Because of notoriety, she will probably make more money than him. Because I ain't never heard a dude like that. Okay? You know, he's not the Usain Bolt. You know, there are names. I don't, like I said, I don't follow track like that, but there are famous names that come out of that world. The last person was Usain Bolt. See, I know Usain Bolt's name, but I don't know his name. So he wasn't that guy. So he may not make the money she gonna make because, and there's a lot of at play because she's a female and they're gonna, use her to market to females and things like that. So he'll probably never get the bread she gonna get in track. But can he actually be with her and not go to jail? Because I think he gonna have a conviction coming. He keep messing with her. And I'm not saying jail like y'all get arrested and they take you down to the jail state. I think this man gonna get convicted of something and end up in prison. He keep messing with her. That's what I honestly believe. She just don't seem like to be a mature enough person. And she's 20. I'm seeing what she's doing at 25. She don't seem like she's the type of person that you can have a relationship stay out of prison.
Hey, Roger, danger for Chris. He's in danger. He's in danger. He has to protect himself because she is mad. As she said, it's his fault. She tried to blame him. She's trying to get him arrested, even though she did everything and they told her. So he's in danger. If he stays with her, that man is in danger.
Yeah. Now we have this comment saying, no, he's a big name in track. I am not saying he ain't a big name in track. I don't follow track like that. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not looking at the track world. What I'm saying is there's names that come out of the track world. Big, huge names. And at this particular point, I don't know him. Carl Lewis was a huge name that came out of track. Jackie Jordan was a huge name that came out of track. There's always big names. I'm not saying he a nobody. I'm not putting him down in any kind of way. I don't know him like that. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I don't know his name. I know his name today only because of this story. I don't know him. I don't know his name because of track. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. Okay. Another comment, he's a world record holder. Not saying that ain't true. But y'all, there is something called marketing out there. And people get names that people learn, and you don't have to be involved in that particular situation. Like y'all, I'm pretty sure most of y'all do not sit down and listen to country music. I'm pretty sure y'all don't listen to country music like that. But who did not know who Garth Brooks was? I'm saying there's levels to this, y'all. Do you listen to country music? Okay, because I would bet the people who didn't listen to country music, y'all still knew who Garth Brooks was. That's what I'm saying, y'all. It's different levels. If you into it, of course you know the names. But if you're not into it, you don't necessarily know the names unless they are at this superstar level. I don't follow track. I know Sha'Carri Richardson. You see what I'm saying? My mama shocked me one time when she told me she knew who Snoop Dogg was. Okay? Because I know good and well she don't listen to no rap. But she knew who Snoop Dogg was. That means Snoop is that famous at the end of the day. He's that famous. And yeah, he is that famous. He done did a show with Martha Stewart and all kinds of stuff. Snoop is that famous. You ain't got to listen to rap to know who Snoop is. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You ain't got to listen to rap to know who Snoop is. It's levels to stuff. Okay? It's levels to stuff. You do not have to be a basketball fan to know who LeBron James is. It's just unnecessary at this point. Okay. Now, the thing is, because she has such a huge name, and when something go down again, she is easily going to throw him under the bus. We see how quick she threw him under the bus. The thought of him doing something that she didn't like made her throw him under the bus. Oh, so he going to put the cops on me? So he's going to get me arrested? Every time she said something, it was about what he going to do with the cops to mess her up. Okay? He gonna end up in prison messing with her. That's what she is quick, fast, in a hurry, ready to throw him under the bus. That's what I'm saying, y'all. And maybe as black men we don't look at that enough. Look how quickly she was ready to throw him under the bus. She thought a slight bit of heat was coming, and I'm not talking about after they started arresting her. Before she figured out she was going to go to jail, she was quickly throwing him under the bus. Oh, Christian did this. Now she don't know what Christian said. Y'all know how it is. Cops, they separate parties. They talk to different parties individually so people can't corroborate stories. Yet people don't plead the fifth. I don't get why people just don't plead the fifth. So now she don't know it, but Christian ain't said nothing against her. But she literally said, "Oh, Christian is saying it's my fault." Well, now let me get him arrested too. There's nowhere in the world that she can ascertain that Christian said it's her fault. But she came with that conclusion on her own. The police did not prompt her into that. That's all it was. She had to talk to the police, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, oh, Christian saying it's my fault. Well, if Christian saying it's my fault, she literally said this, not necessarily in these words, paraphrase. Well, let me tell you something so he can be arrested. That's what she literally did. Christian gonna have trouble, man. If anybody out here know Christian or know somebody who knows Christian, y'all better send him this, okay? Y'all better send him this. Christian in trouble, okay? Because Christian gonna end up in prison. She is a star. When something comes up again, is he gonna be able to get out of it? And the only reason he got out of this one was because, they don't have no recording of him touching her. Think about it. Nobody cares the quote unquote good black man didn't do nothing to her. Nobody cares about that. People is really there for gossip to a certain degree. My thing is, we should use this as a learning tool. Don't think because a woman has money or has fame that she is who she is. She's just now famous, but she's the same person. That's it. Okay. She might have some money, but she's the same person. It don't change because their positions in life change. Years ago, she was a quote unquote nobody. Now she's just a famous athlete. Now she got a little money. Now she got the $20 million deal with Nike, but she's still who she is. Now, this is the thing. Do I expect a woman who wears a bunch of different hair colors, okay, especially while she's performing? And do I expect a woman who got a bunch of tattoos and a woman who wears a bunch of long nails, do I expect her to act the way she's been acting throughout this situation? The answer is yes. This is definitely my expectation of her. I think she was doing a good job to stay out the news in the first place. Because when I first saw her, she looked crazy to me based on how she likes to represent herself. Now, I'm not saying she can't represent herself like that. It's just, okay, I see what time it is. She had the blonde hair, the long nails, and the tats was showing. I just say, okay, I see how she is, but the girl could run. So I could support her being a track athlete, knowing that more than likely she wouldn't be a person I want to hang around. Just is what it is. She wouldn't be a person I want to hang around. And I get it. Some people say, well, no, you might want to hang around somebody because they famous. Now, if I hang around her, I'd probably be the fall guy. Or at least they'll try to make me the fall guy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm going to think. There's certain people who represent themselves a certain way, and I just rather be away from them. It's just not that serious to me. I don't care if you got fame. I don't care if you got a little money. I don't think my access to your fame or my access to your money is going to be worth whatever I'm going to have to deal with dealing with you. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to hang around a person like her based on what I can ascertain from her.
Roger, you're in trouble when you're hanging out with her because she's going to blame you for whatever she does. Whatever man's around her is going to get blamed. So you in danger too. I'm in danger. We're all in danger. All these.
Say any dude in the vicinity is in danger. Yeah, and you know what? I can't say you're wrong. I can't say you're wrong because Christian got pushed, and somehow he got the police up there on her. And my thing is like, where was you at? Well, like, wasn't y'all in the same vicinity? If you ain't see Christian call the police, and the police ain't told you to call the police, where you even get this idea that he called the police anyway? Because what black man gonna call the police on this woman? Has anybody ever heard of that? A black man calling the police on his woman? That's already a touchy situation. What black man calling the cops to where he happens to be located? That's just not a very huge thing. Okay? Yeah, I need the police to come where I am. Yeah, now remember, if y'all were here long enough, I did a story on a man who had a domestic issue going on. He called the police. They came in and killed him. That's what happened to the brother. Might have been in Chicago too. Might have been in Chicago. I don't remember that for sure. But he was having a domestic issue with his woman. The police came to the scene. They took dude up out of here. Okay. Now, I understand a woman can act crazy at any given moment. You don't know which ones is crazy versus which ones are not until they show you something. But if a woman hit me, I don't see myself calling the police. Okay. Now, I'm probably going to touch her up a little bit. Probably not at the airport, though. I don't know about doing that in no airport. Now, I may touch up a little bit. Okay. But if I call the police, I'm not going to be there when they get there. Yeah, over on such and such corner, this woman attacked me. I gave her the food fop she couldn't win. I need y'all to get over there and arrest her, and then we'll deal with it from there. But I'm not going to stand there, because what do the police do? They look at people and they say, well, okay, who got marks on them? Okay, well, we're going to arrest the other person. No, I'm going to win the fight, so she'll have the marks. Okay? So I'm not even setting myself up like that. She ain't going to just whoop me. I ain't finna just let her whoop me. Okay? That it is what it is. I don't know what to tell y'all. Okay? But I ain't going to just let her whoop me. So I'm expecting her to be a little marked up. So yeah, maybe I call the police because now I got to file a report to save myself. Okay? But I don't need to be there when they come pick her up. They can see me at the police station when I get there, when I go there to file the paperwork. That's how I play that game. Now, is that going to stop me from getting arrested? No, we talking about the police, y'all. They'll arrest you at the drop of a dime as a black man. So yeah, I could go to the police station to go file a report, trying to keep stuff on my side. But guess what? You know, I'm probably going to get arrested when I get there. Now, I know that. Okay? I know that. That's why I need to take myself to the police station so I can make sure I'm good. I can make sure my car is parked in a spot where it ain't finna get towed. I can make sure I'm in a good situation. Or maybe I can get somebody to drop me off. Or maybe I take the Uber or the Lyft, one of these ride share companies. You got to make sure I'm good. Because I don't expect the police to be fair. It just, that's unfathomable to me that the police finna actually treat me fair. I ain't said it won't happen, but I have no expectation of it. Okay, I got no expectation of it. Okay, so
Hey, Roger, I told my wife, you don't call you. I don't care what happens. You never call the police on me. I don't care. You don't never call the police. And my sister don't call the police. We will handle this in house. If we have to go, you gonna have to be halfway dead. I'm halfway dead for you to call the police. I will not accept it. If once you call the police, you are an enemy of mine. Whether you're my daughter, whether you're my sister, my mother, my wife. If you call the police on me, because that could be a death sentence. So you don't call the police unless there is, I mean, we have to be, either I'm halfway dead or you halfway dead. Otherwise, we can handle it.
I totally get where you're coming from. And my rule of thumb, the police are good for reports. They're not going to come save me. I know that for sure. Like, if I'm in a bad situation and I need the police to get me out, I'm probably not getting out. See, I've accepted that about life already. If somebody's shooting at me and I need the police to stop them from shooting at me, I'm just going to continue to get shot at. If somebody's jumping on me and I need the police to show up to stop them from jumping on me, then I'm just probably going to continue to be jumped on. It just is what it is. The police is not going to rescue me. I have no thought process of the police rescuing me. Now, again, the relationship with the police is very different for a black woman. Okay? So that's why Sha'Carri Richardson was able to carry on the way she was, and it never escalated. Because I've seen videos when men tried to do the exact same thing she was doing, but they escalate those things very rapidly. Okay, very quickly, those escalate. Very quickly, men are told to shut up. If you don't shut up now, I'm gonna tase you. We're gonna beat you down, whatever the case is. You finna go out to this car right now. I don't want to hear about it. Tell it to the judge. I done seen all kinds of videos and stuff like that. Okay, I done seen so many. I just let stuff slide because I don't cover everything. I could do that every day if I wanted to, you know. But with her, y'all notice they never escalated the situation. Now, again, y'all, I got no indication that these people know she famous. To me, there was no indication. They just don't know who she is. So they just treated us as a regular old black woman. And the thing is, hey, you know, it's a policy. We can't let you go. We got to take you in. The judge got to see about it. You know? So it was nothing they could do to save her behind at the end of the day. You know? I think if there was something they could do to save her behind, they would have. You know? I think they would have let that go with a warning. But, yo, the thing is, as me and y'all, we got to start making some decisions, okay? Now, like I said, in this particular case, she didn't actually call the police. But what do you do with the man? Well, what do you do with the woman? She said all this stuff to the police. See, yo, if she called the police, it's like, to me, there's really nothing to discuss too much. Ain't much you can do with a woman who's already called the police on you. Ain't really much you can do with that woman. But she didn't call the police. If I'm Christian and I see this footage, okay? Now, at this point, maybe he sees the footage, y'all. Maybe he see it today. As black men, what do we do, man? You see how she was, you know, oh, Christian, you did this? You did this to me? I'm at the airport with you. When did I have a chance to do this to you? I'm with you. When did I do it? You see what I'm saying? Like, where's the level of thinking that's going on? You didn't see me call the police. And truth be told, what black woman who live in this country really believe the black man called the police on them? You know? One guy tried it and they killed him. That's the only dude I know of that has called the police on a black woman. The only black man I ever heard of that called the police on a black woman, and that man dead. They came right up in there and promptly shot him. So I don't even know where a woman gonna get the idea that a brother finna call the police on him. It don't make sense to me. Oh, we got Jado coming up. Oh, Jado coming up because he didn't call the police on somebody. What? Jado, you call the police on him?
Hey, Roger, bro, I'll call the police on the broad, man. I've never done it, but I've taken a vow, man, that I would do it, bro.
Okay, I'm just saying the way the way in my mind's eye that you walked into a room like I called him.
Hey, I'm that one. I call the police on the broad, bro.
All right, well, don't be there when they get there because they gonna shoot.
I'm gonna get away as much as possible, bro.
Yeah. I'm not saying I wouldn't call the police, y'all, because I do think we gotta change the way we think about this. The police view us very differently than they see black women. So I'm not saying don't call the police on a black woman. I'm just saying you probably don't want to be in the room when they show up. Go to the police station so you can do your report there. And that way you can get in your car. You can, if you have a car, if you don't have a car, well, you can transport yourself how you need to make sure you got your stuff squared away. Because don't be thinking they're not going to arrest you, because they probably will anyway. I'm just saying. So, but at least you make sure you're comfortable as you can be to get arrested, because you might be there a while. Okay. But go ahead with a good opening statement for me, Jado. My bad. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, what's up, Roger? Ton of Ronald, what's going on? Everybody in the chat, what's going on, man? Replay gang, what's happening? Yo, man, I take this this subject very seriously because I'm sure a lot of other brothers do too. Because I've seen too many, like, you know, close friends, family members, associates, all types of black men that get into issues with like domestic violence and stuff like that. And I take this very seriously. I think black men as a whole, man, we need to have a very, very firm zero tolerance policy. Zero tolerance policy when it comes to that. Not just anything physical, man. And this is something I've adopted. Of course, every brother have to decide on his own on what level, what threshold he wants to uphold or whatever. But man, I don't tolerate definitely nothing physical, man. Nothing physical. But me, just me, and this is my thing, man. I don't tolerate the raising of voices at me, man. When I'm talking to a woman, I mean, of course, man, you have to, and of course, man, I'm a reasonable person, man. It's not, you know, out of excitement or something like that. But when it's just a raising of voices, they raise their voice at me as if they're gonna, you know, tell me something, or they're gonna do something to me, or they just, if they could, had the ability to, they would. I don't tolerate that whatsoever, man. And I know that might be a hard line to push, man, but I think we need to all uphold that. I don't tolerate any type of lie. If you lying, any lying that I see you do on me, on another man, especially a black man, I don't tolerate that. And I addressed that. And this is what and again, I mean, I guess it took me some years to get to this point, but I don't play around, man. I'm gonna be a little personal here, man. I don't even say a relationship. Last time I spent any significant time with a black woman, man, I knew her relatively well, but you know, I never would suspect that she would do anything physical to me, but I guess all of my relationships, man, there was always an underlying hostility, man. Like if you dig past the layers, the honeymoon phase or whatever you want to do, you know, label these things, you know what I'm saying? The romantic and all that stuff. You dig down, it's always like a unilateral hostility, man, coming towards me, from them to me, you know what I mean? It was always there. And they would express it in many different ways, in many different situations. And I don't know, man. I think I should have, and of course I can't blame myself for this, but I think I should have nipped it at the bud in the beginning, man. And this last woman I've kind of black woman that I've dealt with a couple years ago, she would just get smart alecky with me. I don't know. I guess I need to be a better technical term, man. Just be smart alecky or whatever. And she was, and on the surface, she was very demure, man. You know what I'm saying? On the surface level, and most of the time she was, but it would be certain things where she would disagree with me and just start popping her lips. You guys know, popping lips, rolling eyes. The tone would change a little bit, just because it'd be a disagreement, or I challenge her on something, you know what I mean? Just any type of political or social view, you know what I mean? And and the last time she did, I told her, hey, I don't deal with that. You know, you don't do that to me. And I'm going to get away from you. And, you know, I left her there looking somewhat stupid, man. I think we need to really have a hard policy on any of this stuff. And we be giving too much grace to these women. And I know we love them, man. We want to be around them and stuff, especially if they're cute or they have some type of talent or something, you know, something that we admire or like about them. We give them way too much leeway to be abusive, man. You know what I'm saying? I think we should push a hard line on that, man. I just take it seriously, man, because an incident like this can end up in death, man. You know what I'm saying? He could catch an L, man. You know what I'm saying? He can catch a knife to the, chest or something. So anyway, man, I don't want to go on and on, man. I'll just end right there. Thanks for having me up, Ross.
I think that's well said, and I'm pretty sure, just my gut. They looked for a way to give that man an L. They just didn't find one. That's what I honestly believe. I don't think they came there and didn't look for a way to give him an L. Since we here, let's find one. It's just he didn't do anything. But we got Champ Card for life coming up, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him the mic. And look like we got Pastor coming up also, so I'll let him get it in after Champ. Champ, you got it, my brother.
Hey, good morning, happy Thursday. I hope you all are doing right, and I hope you are staying cool because it's hot as hell out here in Springfield, Missouri. It's in the 80s, high 80s right now. The humidity is going to be around 90%. Yeah, but let me just say this: I think this brother Christian got pressured by family members, not to press charges on her. Somebody, a female relative, may have told her not to press charges on her and everything else. Don't destroy this sister like that, because whenever you're in a situation, with your spouse and everything else, your family member is supposed to take up for you and everything else, but some of your own female family members are going to side with the women sometimes. And so this brother is caught in a situation that he wanted to probably press charges, but couldn't because somebody within his family members, a female perhaps, told him not to do it and everything else. And this is the problem that I have right here, because as brother just said, this could end up into a tragic situation where either he end up going to jail, spending the rest of his life in prison, or Sha'Carri Richardson ends up stabbing him to death and everything else, and possibly get a lighter sentence and everything else. I hope somebody with a male figure tells him to get out of that relationship, break up with her, and just move on with your life. She's not the woman to be with you and everything. She's going to get you in trouble and everything else. And if you have a female relative like that, that tells you to stick with you, you just got to block them out. Tell them not to. It's none of your business and everything. Because that's what I think is who's influencing Christian in this situation. So I'll leave it there.
All right, I ain't gonna say too much, but I'm gonna say I don't think it was a female relative at that point. It's probably something he was trained into as he was growing up, but because it happened at the airport, I don't think any relative knew about it at the time. I doubt he called his mama and asked him what to do. I'm just throwing that out there, but he probably was raised to always give deference to the woman. I will say that's more than likely how
Yeah,
it
it
went down.
probably was that, but somebody, if he had a sister or a female cousin watching this whole situation, she probably, called up the mother and tell him, don't have him tell your son not to press charges.
But the thing is, we don't know that any of them were there. More than likely, they were just traveling alone because they're world-class athletes doing world-class athlete stuff. You see what I mean? That's why I doubt family was with them. I've heard nothing about family being involved in any kind of way. So I don't want to, create a false narrative. What you're saying I agree with the sentiment, but I didn't hear any indication that family was there. And I think with a story like this, somebody would have mentioned it because it turned into something. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong for sure, but family was never mentioned in nothing I looked at.
I know if family was not wasn't into it, wasn't watching this whole thing, but they must have been trained, him to not do anything, not press charges on your female spouse.
That I can rock with you solidly there. I just don't want to create a false narrative. 'Cause like I said, I didn't hear anything about family being at the location, and I'm sure somebody would have said it with all the stuff I looked at. But let me get a floor to Pastor so he can get an open statement, and we got Gold P. AB Media, I see you. I'm about to drop the link for you in the chat, brother. I'm about to drop the link for you in the chat. Well, Gold P just said it is pinned because it is pinned, but it's there, brother. All right, Pastor, you got the flow.
What's up, Roger? What's up, fellas? Gold P, all the brothers up here. Roger, this is more than just domestic violence. This is also workplace violence because, like you said, they are both world-class athletes. At the time they were traveling, they were that was to me they were still on the clock. To me, that's still world class athlete traveling business. So that's to me that's workplace violence because they traveling either they returning back home after running or they going to run some more, and that's their job. And so not only were they in a relationship and she was violent verbally and physically. Those two we know verbally and physically. And then she was also taking that verbal and physical violence to their workplace. They are world star athletes, man, traveling to do world star athlete stuff, like you said. And she could not stay focused on being a world star athlete. She had to fight him domestically while at work.
Well, I don't want to put the work on them because technically they was at the airport. I get what you're saying. I mean, they are public figures, so you always in the public once you become a public figure. But I don't want to go workplace athlete because workplace would be more like the track, okay, where you actually doing the running or
Mhm.
at a gym or something like that. That would be more fit into a workplace situation. But my thing is she just should have conducted herself better because she knows she's famous and you in the public. You know what I'm saying? Because who, even though the cops didn't recognize her, but all the cops I saw were white. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. And then my last
But
point,
she knows
Roger.
she's
Then
famous though. She knows she's famous.
exactly. My last point, I'm gonna pass it to Gold P. Like you said, she knew that she was more famous than him. That's also an abuse of power as well. Because she knows that she is in a higher position or more known in this track and field than he is. So she abuses her power, her job, and the relationship. And I'm gonna pass it at that.
Okay. And I'm gonna say shout out to FLX again. Appreciate the cash app. My brother hit me with another $2 cash app. Speaking of her, he says epitome of black women historical treason. And that's definitely what she displayed once them police got there. Now I'm giving a slight break because she didn't call the police on them. But once I seen the footage of what she did, I don't know, man. She threw that dude under the bus so fast. Like that
Roger,
it was crazy. It was
Roger,
crazy.
man, we can't be giving zero breaks, man. All gas, bruh.
Well, no,
That's
what I'm
the
saying, she didn't physically call the
I
police, so
know, right. That's
I can't get
factually
it for that.
correct, man. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying, yeah, I get it.
yeah, I can't get it for what she didn't do. But man, the way you acted when they showed up, whoa, that was rough. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Gold P, you got it, and we got AB Media behind you.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Can you guys hear me? You good?
Yeah, we hear you.
What up, go? Okay.
Peace, peace to everybody on the panel as well in the chat. What's happening? Okay, I seen the video some time ago. Everybody they had different angles and blah blah blah. It was quite interesting. And then we have where they came with some up close footage. And
What's that, Gold P? I hate to interrupt, but I gotta get this in. Shout out with another $2 cash out from FLX. He say just rained on my car wax. Thanks, Christian. Hashtag ATL no. If y'all ain't catching that, everything Christian fault. Christian ain't did nothing, but somehow everything Christian Paul.
Like
Go ahead,
Jermaine,
Dopey. My bad, brother.
like Jermaine. So I was watching this, and yes, she was aggressive, and yes, it was typical. I had spoke about this, some days ago, whatever, in reference to Christian, and it is typical for men, as you said, Roger, to and other people on the panel to say, "Oh, we're gonna let that walk," And I agree. In the airport, you get into some federal type stuff when things go down in the airport. When you get into the federal stuff and you end up incarcerated federally, you are going to do the whole time, not part time or get up. No, you got to do the whole time. So to the point of doing things and fighting in the airport, that's a whole different get down. Especially if you get so mad and you pull a weapon out. Well, now because the airport has so many protocols, well, you're prone to get hemmed up by the marshal, and now money gets involved. We got to charge you for all this. Things you just don't want to do when you get caught up in the airport, especially in this kind of situation. Now, Sha'Carri, she was undercover, so of course, they didn't notice her. I mean, she wasn't there with her hair all color, her track uniform on and hair all out. So I would agree that they didn't notice who she was. They thought she was just some Keisha out of order, and it's time to go. It's go time. That's how that went. So that's my 2 minutes.
Okay, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Shout out to my main man, Roastmaster One, comes through with the Cash App. He said, "You a genius, bro." Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I do really respect that. Thank you very much. And he dropped $20 on the Cash App. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Okay, we got my main man, AB Media 83 in the building. You got the mic, my brother. How you been?
Hey, what's going on, Roger? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. Hear you fine.
How can I say this? It's time to break the cycle. I have seen this shit in my own family, and it never ends well. Where women will put their hands on the man, and the family act like nothing happened. It never ends well. It's time to break the cycle. You put your hands on the man, I'm gonna look the other way and put you in the hospital. Fuck that shit. You put your hands on the man, you lose the right to chivalry. It's time to break the cycle in the black community. Now, the situation with Sha'Carri Richardson, I'm not that surprised. And that video, that body cam footage that came out afterwards, was just another way of saying BGS was right. Just saying. As BGS says, we black folk are the Klingons of the date of this society. We have Klingon mating rituals. They like to hit. Our women like to put her hands on us, and one way or another, we're gonna have to break this cycle because it's gotten out of hand.
Well said. Well said. Okay, we got Shark Sims has just joined us as well, so of course I'm gonna give him the mic. Shark,
hey,
you got it.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing well, brother.
What up, Shark?
I'm gonna start off with piggybacking off of what Jado said. You keep your foot on the gas. There's no second chances. It's only a first, and that's it.
Yep.
What else I want to say is Black people are the only people who recognize famous people that ain't really did anything but be Black. Sha'Carri Richardson has not broken any records. worldwide and Olympic wise. So ask yourself, how do you know her? You know why you know her? Because she is a bad depiction and a bad role model for black women. That is why she has been catapulted to the level she has been catapulted to. If you watch the Olympics, there are beautiful black women on that USA track team. Beautiful. She is built like a high school wrestler on the male side on varsity with a wig on. And somehow we talking about her like she's did all kinds of things. And the last part, not the last part, but the next part is homeboy, it's all his fault. Because why are you even dating you at that caliber of person, and he has broken records. You're at that, and he holds a record, and you're at that caliber in your life dating a female who walks around looking like Rainbow Bright with Freddy Krueger fingernails on. He deserves everything he gets. And second of all, he deserves everything he's going to get in the future because he dropped the charges. Like BGS always says, you're never going to change these women. The only thing that's going to change them is the environment. And you know how you change the environment? By pressing charges on their ass for every little thing they do that ain't right. Because as soon as them police came, as soon as them cuffs came out, she was real humble talking to him. Before them cuffs was on, she was talking about, I ain't never talking to you again. You a coward, etc., etc., etc. But once the conditions in the environment changed, she changed. Black men, it's all your fault because you're too fucking soft. You shoot a black man for stepping on your sneakers, and you let a black woman off the hook for telling you that your kids ain't yours after 5 years. So it's our fault. Can't blame nobody but us.
Wow, that's pretty harsh what you just said.
Man,
I think it's true.
no
I think
lies,
it's true
no
though.
lies
I think it's
detected.
true.
No lies detected at all.
Nah. And as far as I'm concerned, if a woman puts her hands on you, she loses your protection.
Yeah, but
That's
you're
why
right.
now
You're
she
right.
loses your
You're
protection.
right, Sarge.
I was not playing when I said we need to break this cycle now.
I think Roger got knocked off. I think is it True Teller? True Teller's up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
True
I
What's
think
Teller, you
up,
got
bro?
Truth is
point
up.
guard.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, y'all? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start this off a little bit different. So hold on. I normally come on here with some clown stuff, but I think there's a more serious direction we need to take on this. So I'm gonna read something and I'm gonna make my point. It's a quick, I don't know, 4-sentence paragraph. Terrorism is the use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, to achieve political aims. It involves creating fear and destabilizing a society to influence a government or population. While there isn't a universally agreed upon definition, common elements include the intent to intimidate, the use of violence or threat of violence, and a political or ideological motivation according to the Legal Information Institute. Now, I won't co-sign blaming this dude because this chick was beating on him. I'm not going to go that far. If you have to go that far, you are misinterpreting what manhood is and what leadership is. Leadership is not only directing and taking responsibility, but it's also knowing when you are not responsible and not taking responsibility. Now, he decided to remove the charges from her. That's fine. That's fine on him. If that's the choice he wanted to make, so be it. That doesn't change the situation of what she did. I don't like us blaming men for shit they do. I'm not responsible for terrorists performing terrorist acts. And I'm especially not responsible if they do it to me. I'm a victim. I'm not responsible for somebody else's transactions against me. So we need to get off of that and stop doing that publicly because we're not helping out black men when we do it. We're actually making ourselves look worse. You can't sabotage the group because you don't like the decision of one of us. There's no both sides. And I know we all been raised to play both sides. We can't anymore. If he decided to leave the charges, that's on him. I can't blame his decision for her actions. It's not logically, that just makes no sense, and you're sabotaging your own group.
Well, I'm
This
into
chick
victim
is
blaming.
evil.
Is it?
This chick is evil. She's evil. I don't
So
know
the
if y'all noticed, but she changed her story when the police got there and accused him of assaulting her.
so
Absolutely, we heard that. We heard it.
And and that's the type of woman you want to drop charges with, huh?
It don't matter what he wants to do. Y'all need to get out of y'all little kid clothes.
well, I could agree with you on that,
That's
Truth Teller. What he
that's
want to do, that's
immature.
on him. That's his choice.
Yeah.
But it's also your choice. And if you deal with a female that you see is toxic, are we supposed to have sympathy for what comes out of it? You a grown
We have
man. You a leader.
we have sympathy for somebody having something done to them that they couldn't control.
I agree with that. But you
He
can
there's
control.
no
But
there's
your choices
no
you can
you he
control.
can't no he can't control her choices.
No,
So that
his choice for being with her.
very true. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is just because he decided to drop the charges doesn't mean she's completely exonerated. Honestly, we shouldn't even be talking about what he did afterwards. You're literally criticizing the victim. And
I think you
all he
should.
did was no, you shouldn't, because guess
Yes, you
why?
should.
You're not in control of whether or not you're going to be a victim.
Yes, you
If I
are.
punch if I punched you in the face right now and everybody say, yo, it's your fault because you ain't duck. And you say, yo, I don't know how to and
I
you
don't.
say,
I
wait,
don't.
wait, and you say, hold on, and you say, I don't know how to fight. And
I
everybody
don't
say, well, you should have learned how to fight so you can defend yourself. Does
Not
that
Truth
still
Teller.
mean
Truth Teller,
you
you
tell me that's not as bad? That you're
uh,
not the victim
Truth Teller,
now?
you got to take that
It's
back
your
to the
fault.
you got to take that back to the garage and put some new tires on that one and bring it back outside,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you trying to say.
I'm
I
just
see what
giving
you
an
trying to
example.
say.
I'm
I
just
see what
giving
you're
an
trying to say, but
example.
that's not how it is. You do blame the
I mean,
victim. Yes, you do blame the
I
victim because the victim is
I
putting
know.
himself
In a
No,
bad
in a
situation.
bad
we
position.
only blame the victim when it's black men. So you need to correct that.
I,
But the problem is, I get it that everybody else wants to do it. I'm just surprised that we do it to ourselves.
There's
I
some
don't think
truth to
anyone's
it.
blaming him for the actual her actions, man. I would never blame
Right.
him for
But
her
then,
actions.
but his
But
actions aren't. Wait,
we
hold on.
have a
But
duty. Mhm,
his
mhm.
actions aren't illegal and didn't harm anybody.
Absolutely not.
Why would we even be discussing it in this situation? We're discussing her.
Because his
His actions
actions would
harmed himself.
perpetuate the behavior.
His
How did
Somebody
his
actions
actions
give
harm
harmed
me an
himself?
himself.
example
Now,
of it.
now, Jado, you see what's happening, right?
Well,
Right,
well,
right,
hey
right.
guys, you hear me?
The
Here's
logic
the
don't make
thing.
no sense.
Well,
That it does make sense.
well,
His
listen.
decisions harmed him. I agree with the brother that said that being with her, caping for her, dropping charges on her. That is all his decisions, and those are hurting
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
So I
Well,
got to
yeah.
blame him. I got to look at him sideways.
Well, yeah. You gotta look at him a little sideways. You know, of his choices of women that he picked, especially this lady right here, who's got a track record of being pretty volatile and everything else. You know, being suspended for marijuana, which really is not a big deal. But when you take a look at her background and everything else, why would you want to be with a woman like that? I know she's pretty and everything else,
She's not
but
pretty.
but you're taking a chance. Well, to me, I think she is. You're just taking a little chance of her. You're taking a little chance and everything else.
Well, I'm back. I missed a bit part, y'all. I knocked myself off by, I knocked out my Wi-Fi. Messed around and turned it off.
Hey,
Now,
Roger, I was running this show. It was okay. I had it under control.
hey man, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, brother, stepping up to the plate, even though you wasn't asked. I appreciate that. Good looking out.
It
Okay.
ran smooth. I was want nobody arguing or nothing. It
Yeah,
ran
yeah.
smooth.
Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, y'all, because it is about environment. It's her fault. Blaming him helps her. And this is something that goes on. Just as I did catch Truth Teller saying that people started doing this when black men involved. We start blaming black men. You speak about the environment. The black women can do the stuff they do because they know you're gonna blame the man. The only way to change the environment, you have to stop accepting blame for what they do. It's never my fault for what you did. Now, should he have pressed charges? All that's up to an individual standpoint. But at the end of the day, whether he pressed charges or not, she ain't supposed to touch him. That's some after the fact stuff. She wasn't supposed to touch him in the first place. How he responds to him being touched, ain't got nothing to do with the fact that she just absolutely wrong because she touched him in the first place. If you don't start blaming women for what they do, they don't need to change. That is also part of the environment.
But Roger,
Roger,
who
don't
blamed
don't
him for her actions? Who said it was his fault she beat on him?
No,
Roger,
no.
don't.
What I'm saying is I'm not saying blame anybody for something they didn't do. What I'm saying is if the focus is on his response instead of what her action was that caused the change in the first place, the focus is wrong. There was not a problem until she put her hands on him.
Well, how do you solve a problem? That's where we at right now.
We
Is solving the problem.
we can only do what's in our power to do. Like if she gonna take off on him and hit him, she did that, right? What's the response gonna be?
Criticizing her. Hold on, no. The response is really easy. Criticizing and shaming the person who committed the crime. You missing? That's the whole point. Y'all missing. You go straight to the
No,
victim
she
to
needs to be
criticize.
punished,
So
man.
when
She needs to be
I kick
punished.
you in your
She
leg,
do,
truth teller,
she
you
She
does.
needs to be punished, not just criticized. And I
Right, but
agree,
what I'm saying is,
criticism is great,
yeah.
but it needs to be a punishment attached to that.
I don't disagree, but what's in our power is to focus on who committed the atrocity.
Well, I mean,
That's
everyone,
what's in our.
right,
So
right.
wait. You said focus. What we should focus on is the individuals in this situation. We weren't the ones being abused. We weren't even the ones there. What we are is part of the community looking at this, and what we can do from our perspective is saying she's wrong. She shouldn't have did it. She should get locked up. This should happen. Women, y'all should be ashamed if y'all think this is okay. That's what we should be doing.
I
But
agree.
instead, we want to criticize this nigga for what he decided to do.
Yeah, I agree with that, yo.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
I could agree with that.
The thing is, what we're supposed to be doing is for when young men like Christian hear us, they should hear, "Hey, Christian, we ain't blaming you, but if this happens again, this is what you should do, or this is what you should be taking." Black men don't ever hear that. What they hear is it's your fault, which means it's always their fault. So they're gonna always be in the mindset that when something go down, it was my responsibility anyway. So the woman's never gonna really be in the trouble. Why y'all think he came to the decision to not press charges? Think about that. Why do you think he came to that decision?
Because he made bad decisions. He made bad decisions, and he's going to go back to her. He's going to go back to her, Roger. That's the thing. We got to have smoke for him.
He made that decision, but exactly.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
as you were saying, Roger, he was trained by his female relatives.
It's not just the females.
And it ain't just
the males too.
Yeah, males too. Yeah.
Okay.
But hold on.
Okay.
But wait. You guys you're exhibiting the same training upon him that caused him to make that decision.
No,
right?
not at all. Not at all.
Wait. Hold on. Hear me out. The first thing y'all did was you heard about what she did. You gave her a quick criticism, and then you jumped to the nigga and went in on him for like 10 minutes. Everybody did it.
Nah, no,
so
you got to,
yeah,
man.
you did.
Nah, true.
You literally,
I did it.
You did your openings. All of y'all did it. Y'all said him. Everybody concluded, but the conclusion of everybody's openings was what he should have did to avoid being a victim. Everybody.
I admit that I did that.
I spoke
Jado,
on Black men. Yeah, thank you, sir.
You didn't do it, but everybody else did it.
Nah, because at the end of the day,
we were talking about actions that what he did. Okay, we're talking about actions.
Right, but Shock. Why he didn't do anything wrong?
First of all,
he didn't do anything wrong.
First of all, people need to understand the difference between the action and the reaction. She did an action. They had an argument. The action was she put her hands on him. Everything he did was just a reaction to what she did. When you want to actually fix problems, you got to start you got to go to where the problem starts from. You can fix a home very lovely. Okay, you can do a lot of great work in the home. But if on the first floor of the home, the water is running, y'all can't cut it off. Ain't nobody went to go fix that off. You're gonna have water flooding the home. It's gonna eventually go down to the basement. You're gonna start corroding stuff. It's gonna be a problem. Now you can do all kinds of other stuff, but if you never actually go to that first floor and cut that water off, you can do all kinds of stuff to that home, and it's still gonna fall down eventually.
So besides putting Sha'Carri in a straitjacket, how will we do that then?
What this is
Strap
the
her
thing.
down in a gurney? Like, what are we gonna do?
Look, everybody got to learn to use their power from their perspective. At the end of the
Exactly.
day, he should. My thing is, a lot of people can come to the conclusion that he should press charges on her. My thing is, he gonna have to punish his woman the way he sees fit. The thing that you got to do is get men in a position where they feel comfortable punishing women. That's where black men is at. They're just not comfortable punishing women, period. I'm not. Maybe he is going to go back. I don't know nothing about that relationship. I didn't even know this dude existed till the story came up. So my thing is, based on his relationship and what he wants to achieve, he should look to do the right thing. But from a person who's not in the relationship, my perspective is going to be like, bro, you got to do something about her because she already has displayed she would throw you under the bus. Now, she didn't call the cops, but my thing is just off of hearing what she said when the cops showed up, truth be told, I'm probably gone because I can't trust her no more.
He will go back to it, Roger.
Is correct. So
He gonna go right back to it, Roger, and that's why we
shouldn't
have
be
to
messing
have
with her.
smoke for him. Because look, don't we criticize women when they keep going back to their abuser?
No,
I do.
I mean, bro, I'm gonna say what we generally do is what Truth Teller said, and I'm not saying me included because I know I don't be doing. But what generally happens is you say something about a woman, everybody gonna eventually jump to it's the man's fault. That's happening all the time.
But if she keep going back to her abuser,
He
we say,
hasn't.
man, we get on her ass. We talk shit about her, right?
He hasn't done that though. The man, this is the first time he's ever been in the store. He ain't done that. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, I have literally said time and time again, if a woman get hit by a dude and she go back to it, it's cool. There's nothing to talk about.
It's all good, right?
People don't accept that like that. She locking the world out and locking herself in with the so-called monster that she getting abused by. So if Christian can take the hit and he want to stay with her, cool. If he want to take the hit, you know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. But now if he end up in jail, which is why I'm saying this, so hopefully it may get to him one day, bro. That's the type of chick that's gonna get you in prison, bro. She quick to throw you under the bus. I know she didn't call the cops, but she quick to throw you under the bus.
But Roger, when she threw him under the sheet, when the cops came, it was almost as if she did call the cops.
Exactly. I can't trust that one, man.
Hey, Roger. As they say, protect yourself at all times. Black men have to protect themselves at all times. We are in hostile territory in America. We have to protect ourselves at all times. Always look for attacks on you. You have to protect yourself at all times with everybody.
And I'm just saying, part of us protecting ourselves, you got to protect the narrative too. Let the narrative be the truth. The truth is there's a problem because she caused it. And that's where all the problems started from. It's because of her. If she wasn't causing no problem, that man ain't in nobody's story. I still don't even know who he is because I don't follow track like that. You see what I'm saying? I don't even know his name. I only know his name because she put.
Roger, is it me or are you breaking up?
I think that's you.
Yeah, because I sounded good to me, but you did sound a little messed up when you was trying to tell me.
Yeah, you sound pretty bad, brother.
Yeah, real bad.
Yeah, who's that?
Is she beating on you?
Damn.
Damn.
You never know. You never know these days.
Blink twice, man. You're in trouble. Blink twice.
It's your fault, Tyler. If you get beat on, it's your fault, bro.
Hey, man, the Roger Report Live is a safe space. You can tell us.
He's mad at him for getting on the internet talking to Roger, will be beating that nigga ass, mushing him out right now.
Listen, the only thing you shouldn't do, player, don't run. Because if she anything like this chick, you ain't gonna make it. Just don't run.
She gonna catch you.
Now I'm gonna say, look, Christian gotta walk his walk. I you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's a young man about the same age she is. That's what I'm assuming. Because like I said, I just found out this man existed through this story. Now, if he love her, which he could, because maybe he's been with her for a while. I don't know. Even if you love somebody, you do got to make some actual calculations about how is my future going to be. And that's why I think black men need to, concentrate on. Don't say it's his fault that he, you know what I'm saying, because he with her. Nah, he didn't know she crazy. Now, if he knew and that she was crazy and then did it, okay, then I can see, okay, that's kind of your fault. I'm not going to go mess with somebody who's known to be crazy and then blame somebody else when she started acting crazy toward me.
But
Yeah, I
Roger,
get that part.
Tunnel Runner just told you about her previous record. We all know, and I don't know if he knows, but multiple colors in your hair, long fingernails, and you don't talk proper English. What do you? What? Come on, Roger.
No, I mean,
Now, hold on.
I'm with you on that. The way she looked alone told me not to mess with her. The first
Right.
time
He
I saw
knew.
He
And plus,
knew.
we got to.
I'm gonna say he knew, but I
He
need us.
knew.
See, this is what our problem is as a group of men, right? Because the sisterhood don't care what the woman did to the man. If he laid his hands on her, he's wrong and she's an angel, no matter what. Even when we're in situations where the man is being abused or lied on, even we always, all of us have done this. We always do this one thing, even though we're criticizing a woman about whatever happened. Well, you know, next time, or he should have protected himself better. We always give that disclaimer, putting some fault on the victim. We always do it. Women don't do that at all. That's why we can't even understand a scenario where they started. Like if there was no cameras in that airport and it was just his word against hers, they both going to jail.
No, he going to jail. That's it. Just
Well,
him.
more than likely. And she lied on camera. She lied on camera and said he put his hands on her after they told her we got it on film because there's cameras everywhere. So she was already recorded.
She lied at the airport
Lied.
as if she don't know it's cameras everywhere. Like who don't know it's cameras everywhere at this? She 25 years old. She ain't 12.
Listen, if somebody told me at the airport they got me on camera doing this, I ain't saying nothing, especially if I did it. They got to show me the film, and more than likely in the back of my head, I am 80% sure they got me on film doing it. I'm not gonna lie on somebody else. I'm not gonna say I didn't do it. I'm gonna just say I need proof, player. That's all I need.
What
And once
did
they show
Chappelle
me the
say?
proof,
I
once
plead
they
the
show me the
fifth.
proof, I'm calling my attorney so I can figure out a way to make that evidence inadmissible in court. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to verify they got it,
Real
and I'm
talk.
putting together a plan to make it I'm trying to make it void its effectiveness. That's all I'm doing. Not the
Now,
airport players.
I do
Yeah.
want to say this because I did want to get to this. I think what black folks really need to learn how to do that wasn't done, man, just plead the fifth. They came there. Now, this is my thing. If they're a couple and they just had this bad situation, and my thing is, it may not be the worst situation where it could be something a couple could get past because she pushed him. She didn't start whooping on him. That would be a little different. She just pushed him. I get it. You was upset. You pushed your man. This may not be the end of the world. I'm not saying the relationship got to break up just because somebody got a little too overzealous. You didn't do something to truly try to harm a. You can look at it that way. You didn't try to necessarily harm. I'm not saying I would view it in that way, but I'm just saying a person can look in a way where you wasn't truly trying to harm. If this is something they could get past, and if you didn't want to immediately break up, why don't black people know to just shut up? The cops came. Why didn't you just say, look, man, we here at the airport, we together, we good. That's it. You ain't got to tell them nothing else.
Wait, Roger, you want a black woman to be quiet?
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you with me, I'm gonna give you training on how to keep your mouth shut. That's real talk. So yes, I do want a black. I don't want you saying nothing. You the last person I want talking.
Now, Roger, you're right. Pleading the fifth probably would have got both. And because I get what Gold P is saying about those federal charges that you can run into at these airports. And at this point, pleading the fifth, just shutting your damn mouth, would have probably got them both out of this situation and not on television. Well, not outed to the public the way they have been. Because
Nah, it would have got him on television. She couldn't avoid it. She's too
Well,
famous, and they got it on camera.
the cameras
In
gonna do
that,
what the cameras do.
yeah, in that state, they didn't need him to say okay to arrest her.
That was
They didn't
that was
need
the
him to
key.
report it. Yeah, that was a state. It's a state law.
So
So
the
she was
state can pick
going.
it up. Yeah, the state can pick it
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
Roger.
yeah.
The state can pick it up, Roger. That is true. I done been through that shit too. The state can say forget you and
But
pick it up past you.
this is the thing. But this is the thing. They're dropping it because he's not cooperating. So technically, at least at this point, he is pleading the fifth. He's not going to say anything against her. So they just letting it go, which
And the
makes
state,
sense because she's a female, you know.
and the state can override it. But you know what? Let the
But
state
are
gonna do what
they?
the state gonna do.
But the thing is, you only got control of what you got control over. You got
Exactly.
control of your mouth.
Exactly.
You ain't got control of the state's reaction to you not saying nothing. But my thing is, if you're gonna be a black couple, there should be some training with you two together as a couple to say, look, man, we not finna let the world in our business. We just gonna shut up. Because the thing is, was the push really that bad that it's relationship ending worthy? Everything is not relationship ending worthy. It's really going to be about how long y'all been together, how much y'all love each other, what y'all have entangled together. Do y'all have kids together? Do y'all have properties together? Did y'all make this plan for the next 3 years? It's going to really depend on people's entanglement, looking at it from a realistic standpoint. Now, I'm not saying whatever they got together ain't enough breaking up, because I don't know. But my thing is, I already have my woman trained that if she put her hands on me, she gonna get the pops. I tell every woman that early. You touch me, it's on. Okay? And I plan for you to go to the hospital, because when your family come looking for me, they're not gonna ask my side of the story. So I might as well put you in the hospital immediately, because they're gonna look for me anyway, and we'll go from there. But understand, you are going to the hospital.
Her whole plan backfired because when you look at the video, that's the typical thing black women do to try to get you to jump out of the window, pushing on, like, you know what I mean? That whole walking, like pushing you with their body. I know, and you can imagine the stuff she was talking that we couldn't hear, you know what I mean, through the video. So she was trying to provoke him into putting hands on her. And thank God he held his composure. And like you said, in that state, they don't really play that.
And brothers, if you going through immigration, you're in a state of limbo. If that would have happened in immigrations, they do not have to let you back in the country. Okay, you are
Yep,
in
that's true.
yeah. When you're in immigration, you have to be on your best behavior. Where you're going to and when you're coming back. So you are not in the country until you pass immigration. If that would happen in immigration, they could have both of them locked up.
Hey,
Yep.
I know we
Wasn't there
going
that
through all these.
Russian or Slovakian guy who got caught in between customs and lived in the airport for like a year or two? Wasn't there was a movie about that?
They did the movie. Tom Hanks did the movie. Somehow he got. I don't remember what the whole plot was. I know he got stuck in that airport for a good while. You know.
Hey,
Well, neither country would accept him. Is what happened.
I
He was
know we
going
going.
somewhere new. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, my bad, man. We're going through all these hoops. And I get it, man. We want to talk about this state and in between this state and this. Hey, man, if a broad pushes me, if she throws something at me, if she scratches me, get rid of her, man. I don't know. Zero tolerance, man. I don't know why that should be something hard to follow. I just don't see that. We've become so accustomed to like any type of hostility from these broads, man. You know what I'm saying? I think we put up with it. So I've been with her for a year, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that slide, man. No, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, keep your foot on it, man. I just don't. I think none of that's unacceptable. I don't care if I'm in my backyard, at the airport, or in the police department. I don't care. Courtroom, I don't care.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Jetta. I don't think it's that. I think women act that way that you just described. And Pat said something earlier that is more like a woman would do. The problem with black men is we care about our reputation and how other people look at us in regards to them. It's not I've been with her such a long time, so I'm just gonna stay with her. Black men don't think in that way. That's just not a man's way of thinking. Now, maybe it's a man that's acting very much like girls, because that's what I'm gonna say. If you still acting like a girl, maybe you did do that. Okay. But from a man's perspective, like I said, every time I mess with a woman, I tell her straight up in the beginning, if you put your hands on me, it's gonna be hell to pay. They don't do it. Okay, before I did that, there was a woman who touched me one time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell her right at the beginning. I had said something along the way. She did hit me one time, and when she started beating on me, that's what she did. She was like, hit me maybe 3-4 times. She got one in, and then I just stole her off in the arm, and I just told her, I said, "You see how that felt? And you want me to give you a real punch?" Because if we gonna fight, I'm beating the hell out you. I'm throwing you out because we in my place. I'm throwing you outside. Basically, I'm gonna beat the hell out you, and you going to the hospital. I can't tell you how stuff gonna play out, but I guarantee you going to the hospital. And I tell women that because I don't be playing about it. I'm not fighting no woman without her going to the hospital because I don't know what her family gonna do when they found out they daughter, they cousin, they sister got hit by some man. And even if you just say you slapped a woman, they'll still do the same thing. Niggas act stupid with rage. So you at least got to go to the hospital to justify me dealing with these other men.
They're gonna jump. They're gonna at least try to see. That's the thing about it. If you have a domestic issue, it's mainly between you and your spouse, you and your woman. But when her family does come, because we all dealt with this shit before. It's not just her dad. It's not just one person. It's not one, and their intentions and their intensity is always on cloud nine. Like you know how many fathers almost get. You know how many fathers have gotten their life. Fathers
See
have lost their life doing that shit.
but this is the whole reason why you got to start by telling them through the door. If you hit me, it's not gonna go smooth. You going to the hospital. If she don't see the women do this stuff because there's nothing for them to lose. They're not gonna have the fight. They're not gonna be involved. They're gonna call some dude. Some dude gonna tell some other dudes, and then dudes gonna come get you. If you happen to be with your dudes, then it's a brawl between a bunch of dudes on the same side. Nothing happened to her, so this means nothing to her. Unless you are willing to put a whooping on her, she has nothing to consider.
And I do want to point something out. So Roger just gave something that's a solid rule for men to follow as a code, but it's ineffective because it's linear. And the reason why it's linear is because it's only one-sided, right? Because then you got to ask yourself, what if my sister, what if my daughter, what if my auntie is in a situation? Am I going to go fight for her? And most niggas is going to answer yes.
Good point, Truth Teller.
Yeah, most niggas gonna do it. They gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
So the second you say, well, hold on. The second you say I'm gonna set that rule for chicks I mess with, but then it goes the other way when you dealing with women that's related to you. You a hypocrite, and none of that shit count. You just like them other niggas.
Yep.
Now I got to say this behind that, because anybody who's seen my previous channel, y'all know good and well. I said, don't even call me till y'all broke up. I don't want to hear nothing about you. I don't care nothing about the fact that he hit you. So what if he hit you? You still with him? So I'm not going to be a hypocrite. If he whoop on you every day and you still keep going over there, I think you like whoopings. I'm an intelligent person. An intelligent person can ascertain you go toward the things you like and you avoid the things you don't like. That's what people do. That's just normal behavior. Not even just for people. Animals do that. If an animal go to the fence and it gets stung, you know what the animal start doing? It starts staying away from the fence. Matter of fact, it stay away from the fence so much that if you remove the fence, it don't even like being in the vicinity where the fence was, because they don't like getting stung. Just is what it is, man.
But
so
most
if you
people are
like
gonna
getting whooped on, that you an adult. That's your business.
But Roger, most people are going to respond to the tears and the yells of a woman. It just is what it is. I mean, there's no way around that.
No. That's happening right now. Start teaching that's not what you do. I get what you're saying. I'm not responding to the tears. I don't care. He's your husband. I don't care. He's your boyfriend. I don't care. He's your fiance. I don't care. Why would I care about what your man doing to you?
My first question to my sister would be like, second question would be, what did you do? My first question is, what you want me to do about that? That's your husband or your man and your boyfriend. What you want me to do about that? So my sister wouldn't come to me or my brothers. She knows better. She wouldn't, because we gonna ask her what the fuck's going on, why you in this situation, and we know you very well. So we know you wasn't no twinkling violet sitting in the corner. So what was happening? And she ain't gonna want to tell us the truth. She ain't gonna want to tell us, because if she tell us a lie, we gonna go to him and be like, nigga, I know you. What happened? He gonna tell us what happened. Oh, she was on the phone with some nigga. What? Oh, suddenly she's gonna be the criminal in the family.
Yeah,
that's because y'all like that nigga. Y'all got a rapport with him. Y'all got a rapport with him. Y'all like him. Y'all know him. He's been around the family. That's what that sounds like. But
no,
if that's not the case,
it's not.
None of that's happening.
No. It's not your business, bro.
No, it's not.
This
Right.
is the
It's not my
thing. This is
business.
the thing. This is the thing, bro. You got a girl. Can I come tell you how to run your relationship with your girl? Are you cool with that as a man?
That's outright disrespect if you try it.
No. But I want to hear Pastor say it. Pastor, are you cool with that as a man that I can come and regulate your relationship between you and your woman? Are you good with
No,
that as a man?
not one bit. But you got to think about it. These are
No. If you
Nah,
not
ain't no
good
one
with
bit.
it, if you're not good with it, why can't you show another man the same respect you want?
Not be linear, player. You
blood,
gotta be
because I'm
multi-dimensional.
telling you, the blood ties change that shit.
Bro,
When
No,
it's
it
been
don't.
dead,
I'm asking you
a
a
No, it
simple
doesn't.
changes.
question. You just said what you want. Why
Yep.
can't you show another man the same respect you want?
I'm sorry, Ross. I'm a hypocrite, yo. I can't extend that same
There you
favor to the
go.
next brother.
Ain't no man
Which
code. That's you see, Roger. Ain't no
I can't. I
man
nah,
can't
nah,
code.
extend. I can't
there's a
extend
man
that to the
code.
next brother.
So no, I understand what you're saying. I get you. You conflicted. No, I completely understand. But you should understand what the penalties are for it. Because if you come up on somebody like me, I'm dating somebody in your family, and you come to defend that person, you gonna get 10 times worse what she was gonna get.
Now,
Just cause.
I'm gonna have to hold you right there. I'm gonna have to hold you right there because I'm gonna respond to somebody in the chat now. Family business. There's a link that's pinned. You can come join if you like to, but I'm gonna respond to you because you've been saying some stuff like you. I mean, maybe you're a female, maybe you're a male. It don't make no difference. At the end of the day, you know, you're doing what you're doing. You know what you did, okay? But I'm gonna respond to because you just put this one in. You said, why is this even happening in the black community? Why is it normalized? Because women, which you may be one of them, y'all are violent. That's why it's happening. Black women don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. That's why it's happening. That's your answer. If black women would keep their hands to themselves, men don't have to think about this type of stuff. So the problem is women will not keep their hands to themselves. Why are you okay with that? Because I'm looking at your other responses or the other comments you've made. I'm starting to gather you think it's okay for women to hit on men. So you the problem. Now that's whether you're a male or a female. You thinking it's okay for a woman to abuse a man is the actual problem we have going on, because a lot of black women know that others think it's okay for them to abuse men, so they do it. You're the problem. You're why this is happening. Literally. You're why Sha'Carri Richardson felt comfortable enough to hit on Christian. You are the reason.
You know, Christians.
That sounded funny though. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. They beat on Jesus, right? Because people thought it was okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm looking at the other comments she put that. Now, it could be a she or a he, so I may interchange that. But the other comments, yes, it's clear they think it's okay for women to beat on men. So that person in particular is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm wrong, you can hit that link and give you can give a rebuttal if you think I'm wrong. But based on your comments, I see you think it's okay to hit on men. But right now, I want to get these other guys in. Well, actually, Champ is back. But H Rebels is up for the first time, so let me let him get the mic. H Rebels, you got it.
Yeah, hey, shout out to you, Roger, as the host, all the gentlemen. I know I was looking at the topic. I'm sorry I missed the initial commentary, but I'm sure you guys talked pretty good about this. I just want to start off by saying, look, I really do like Sha'Carri Richardson. If you guys been following her career, you know she's had some ups and downs, and lately she's been up, right, and then now she's back down again. And I really do like her. So now I do have to hold her to account because, you know, that video, man, that was terrible. And then on top of that, she initially, you know, started when the police confronted her or law enforcement kind of got at her, the security got at her. She was being like, I didn't do nothing. What are you bothering me and all this other stuff. So she did come out, and I don't know if you actually saw this, but she did a video where she addressed it and she talked about, look, I got to hold myself to account. I got to deal with this, you know, and I'm going to try to be a better person moving forward, all this other stuff. So, you know, there is some level of account on her part. Now she just has to follow through with it. And then from this day forward, she has to be a better person and she has to live that life. So that's what I'm expecting out of her. And if she does that, then there's some redemption for her in this unfortunate event. Christian she has to deal with her and her and Mr. Coleman got to figure out what they're going to do moving forward, if they're going to go forward. But at the end of this, the thing is that she took at least partial accountability. Now we're going to see what she's actually going to do to make up for it and then be a better person going forward. And what she can do is actually become an advocate and exposed person and all this other stuff to kind of make sure stuff like this doesn't happen again. Now, this was the bad side of this. When I saw this first initially come out, there was a lot of women actually blaming Christian Coleman. Well, what did he do? How did he provoke all of this? And that's kind of like the problem. That's the blaming the victim concept that everybody doesn't like when it happens to when men say that exact same thing. So if we can't do that for the women, then women can't do that for the men either. So that's something that we have to kind of point to and make sure none of that happens, that we stay consistent, with our, rhetoric and our behavior and our accountability when it comes to these types of incidents. And matter of fact, and I'll kind of end with this, DV is actually getting so bad as it relates between men and women, and with women initiating a lot of these things. Well, I'm going to say initiate a lot, but initiate enough that they actually started to kind of adjust and change the definition and starting to call it like IPV, intimate partner violence, and all this other stuff, so that way they don't have to implicate women as much. So, because usually when stuff like this would happen, we almost always went to what the man did to provoke it, what the men were doing, or that the men were at fault. And what we're seeing now is that there's a trend of women actually instigating these incidents, not only against men, but unfortunately against the children too. So when stuff like this happens, just, obviously do your research, understand it a little bit better. Don't put all the blame on the men. And then the other thing too is, I really hope Ms. Richardson actually begins her redemption arc coming out of this incident. I'll go ahead and land right there.
Well, right after that, I want to make sure I say that, I heard she get an apology, but I'm pretty sure she didn't do nothing to advocate for women to leave their hands off of men, and I doubt she ever will, because again, it ain't like she getting punished by anybody. She got out of it with the law because dude didn't press charges. I heard Nike saying we still gonna stand with her and all that type of stuff, and Nike supposedly is her biggest sponsor, so I'm sure everybody else just gonna fall in line anyway. So I think she's just talking. And the thing is, black women just violent. People can say whatever they want to say. I've been saying that for years now on multiple channels. Black women just violent. And what is happening? The only thing that's happening is more and more proof keeps coming out that black women just violent. They're just violent people. Now, why they violent? It's because they can get away with it. Because that's how women operate. They do what they can get away with.
Roger, she gave that apology with a Nike shirt and Nike hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it.
Well, the thing is that because of her celebrity, right? She's actually going to be held more to account because of her celebrity. Like,
she's
if
not
she
going
gets
to
another
be
incident like this again, then that should pretty much ruin her, right?
Hey, Trev, everybody.
She's not going to be held account for this. Nothing's going to. I'm telling y'all right now. My prediction is ain't nothing going to happen to her. But go ahead, champ.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say.
Then the only people who can hold her accountable really is the public, right?
Yeah.
Public ain't going to do much to it either.
Well, listen,
she's going to get more support.
Well, yeah, she is, and unfortunately, she feels like this is.
Whoa, I ain't dressed. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. You need to say somebody coming in the crib.
Hello.
Go ahead, champ.
Go ahead. I was telling somebody who was coming in that I wasn't dressed because I ain't dressed right now, y'all. I'm changing clothes.
Roger talking to us naked, man.
Yeah,
go ahead, champ.
Yeah, but she's not. She feels like she didn't do anything wrong at all. That's how she feels. I mean, this is the type of lady, that feels like I'm invincible. I should put hands on men and everything else. So what with the circumstances and everything else? She's not going to be held accountable. She's going to continue on doing to other men. Hopefully not this guy. I hope this guy breaks up with her right now, because if he stays with her and everything else, he's going to get more in trouble than she is. Okay? She really is.
Oh, yeah. Christian Coleman needs to end this relationship. When something like this happens, you need to go.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's his finding leave.
Yeah, that somebody within his family needs to tell him straight up, Get out of that relationship right now. If I was his brother right now, I'd be cornering his ass and said, dude, you better get out of this relationship right now, because if you get in trouble, I'm not going to bail you out. Okay? I'm not. I can't bail you out on this because you're with a woman who is volatile, who is narcissist, and everything else, and she's not held accountable for her own actions.
Well, so him leaving, so they're not married, they have no kids, as I understand, and I'm pretty sure they don't have any kids. All of that being said, he needs to go because that's actually part of the consequence of her behavior. Like there needs to be a punishment. That's part of the punishment. Like he shouldn't be staying with her, trying to work through it, work it out, none of the other stuff. Like, nah, we're going to end this relationship right here and right now. And once you get better, then maybe you can link up with somebody else. But you and I are done. See how that works? So that's actually part of her punishment. Because that's when men actually set the standards. So
But that's another man.
She
That's
continues
another
to be,
man. That's another man. See, Roger just gave me that same scenario. That is technically another man telling another man how to run his relationship.
No. It's not. It's not the same thing, Pastor. This is what.
How is it not the same?
Listen, I'm telling you right now. This is what we're saying is a good move for him to make. We're not telling him what he got to do. We're just saying, hey, y'all, black men, you got to look at things. Look at things. I understand feelings can be involved, but sometimes you gotta look at it objectively and see what is the best thing for you to do. Now, my thing is this: possibly they could have worked behind a push, because I know people get real attached to somebody. I get that, but bro, you got to look at what she said on that film when the cops was there. See, I don't think a push is gonna be enough to get a black man to break up with the average black woman in today's time. I don't think that's enough. But I'm not saying it shouldn't be enough. What I'm saying is I don't think it's enough for any random dude just to break up with his girl. But bro, look at what she said when the cops was there, bro. Like, look what she did, bro. Like, this is way more than a red flag. This is way more than a red flag.
You didn't see the TMZ video where she was pushing him around? You didn't see the TMZ video? That's actually
no, I didn't see that yet.
No, it's bad. Look at the TMZ video. It's bad. She was literally pushing him around the airport, slapping him, punching him, walking around with him until the security actually came to him. And she was doing this in full view of other passengers. Like, she was doing this, like, it was bad.
So she basically beat him until somebody made her stop.
Yeah. Like, it was bad. This is not cool.
Bro, you got to get up out of here, man.
His punishment to her is, look, we are done with this relationship. Like, that's his punishment. That's how you set the boundaries for stuff like this. Right?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna pull that video up since you just said it's on TMZ and you just told me where
it's bad. It's not good at all. She's literally walking. You guys got to look at that if you haven't seen it.
I think
I thought you already looked at it and saw it, but
I think she should sue her.
I think a lot of stuff was blurred out.
She was blaming for it. She said that
and the reason I say it's bad is that I'm sorry. The reason I say it's bad is that if she was doing that in a public area, then what happens when they're in their own home, right? Or when they're in their apartment? That means she's moving around the apartment, slapping, punching, beating on him, and he's just being silent and taking it and saying, "Well, this is part of the relationship. This is what they got to deal with to be with her." And remember, he's a I'm not saying he's a track star, but he's a trackster in his own right.
Yeah,
He's a man doing his own thing. He doesn't need that aggravation, right?
Yeah, well, if he's a record holder, he is somebody in the track and field world.
Man, I don't. Yeah, even if he was unemployed, man, it doesn't matter, bro. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think we just give way too many passes. I think black men, I think as a whole, not anybody, any individual, we've come to expect this type of behavior from the chicks we deal with, black women particularly. We come to expect that. So, we'll let her, even if it's just a push. And she just, she got a little upset. She pushed me. No big deal. And stuff like that, man. I think we've grown accustomed to it and won't even we'll let stuff like that's a very dangerous woman, man. That can end up being a knife to your heart, bro. Like that can and she'll lie about it. She'll create a scenario to where she won't even be culpable. She'll just be, that's a very dangerous woman. I know we she can run fast. It's cool. And she's very, flamboyant and all this stuff and whatever, bro. But I'm just saying, why are we just coming up with all these scenarios when she's just not a good woman to be with, man, at all.
Yeah, she isn't.
Well, we can argue that point, but here's the other thing too. This is not the end of it. She could actually end her career right here, right now, if she don't straighten up. And if something like this happens, like this keeps you off of Olympic teams. This keeps you from getting the invites to these important track meets that qualifies you to even get to the Olympics. Like she still has at least one more Olympics in her, right? And there's got to be a standard of behavior.
Well, you know what? I agree with what your sentiment is. She ain't got to worry about none of that. You know, now I was just going to read this, but this is a good time to read it too, just because you said that. I guess this is Black Male's Group. He says Sha'Carri is sponsored by Nike, Sprite, Okios. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Oikos. It's a yogurt brand.
Okay. And Powerade. Contact her sponsors, hold her to the same standard as men. Now I'm gonna say this. Don't nobody care. What she did was get in trouble for doing something to a black man. Y'all live in America. Nobody cares. That is the reality of what's going on. Now he did say something about contact her sponsors. Now I would say that's a good stepping stone in the right direction, because if you never do anything, you can't trip about how stuff is. You got to do something eventually. Okay, so contacting her sponsors, even though it may not be, you may not see it as effective right now. If we could just start where men start getting comfortable doing things that create a result, you know what I'm saying? You know, the journey of 1,000 miles, you still got to take that first step. Okay.
Hey, Roger. My sister said he's 2 seconds faster than her, so he can just run away.
He can run away.
He's 2 seconds faster than her, so he can just run away.
It's his fault. He didn't run. He didn't run.
Well, this is the thing. America is very comfortable with you doing something to a black man. I figured out as a child, anybody can kill a black man as long as you're not a black man. How did I figure that out? Looking at news. You kill a black man, it's not that big a deal unless you happen to be a black man yourself. Now they'll come after you. But if you somebody else, they do everything they can to kind of let it go, or to make it where you're gonna get as minimal trouble as possible. So America really don't like black men. I don't know if people really gather that the way I think it should be gathered. That America just don't like black men, period. So do I expect anybody to drop their sponsorship because of what she did to a black man? Absolutely not. Do I expect the Olympic Committee to do anything because she did something to a black man? No. If this was somebody else was a victim, possibly something's gonna happen. More than likely something would happen, but he's a black man. So therefore the victim is not important enough for us to even chime in on.
Roger, it did happen. There was a woman that there was a white woman that plays soccer. There was a white woman that plays soccer that had did the same thing to her girlfriend, and she got kicked off the soccer team, the USA soccer team.
Yeah,
look at what the victim is. That's what I'm saying. Look at what the victim is. The victim wasn't a black man, so therefore it's cool to do something about it.
Yeah.
Well, so let me caveat that. That woman, I know which woman you're talking about. I forget her actual name, but she had already played for decades, got a few gold medals.
It was Hope Solo.
Yeah, and then she was towards the end of her career, so they were like, well, we need to let her go anyway.
Yeah.
So there was an excuse to actually get rid of her based on top of that. And that was the only incident with her. So with the women, I will grant you this. With the women, they do give them way more latitude than they do the men. Because this is essentially strike two for Sha'Carri Richardson, right? The first one actually, her first incident kept her out of the Olympics. So that was her punishment for her first strike. Now, she had to at least do an apology video and follow up and counseling and all this other stuff. This is her second strike. The Olympics is coming up here again. If she messes up again, she might not even make it. She might not even get an invite. See, this could end her right here.
I'm gonna strongly disagree. This is not strike two for her because the victim was a black man. The reason it was an issue the first time, because I remember she got caught with the weed and they make a big thing out of that. But that affects everybody. That affects white man, black man. That affects the women. That affects everybody because it's about getting caught with weed, and they can't have an example out there about anybody getting away with something like that. It affects everything. This is just a black man as a victim. This is not strike two. They don't care. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
I'm saying your sentiment is 100% is correct.
I want to disagree with you on that because I'm telling you, if she messes up again, they're going to refer back to this incident. I'm telling you.
Who's going to refer back to it? Social media guys?
It's going to block us to lose money.
They not going. Who's going to lose? Who's going to lose money because she did something to a black man?
She will lose money. See, there's got to be an impetus to actually a motivation for your positive behavior. And if you can't behave yourself, we can't endorse you. We can't have you on the team. We can't invite you to these track meets. You can't even get to the. You don't even invite to the Olympics. They need
Ravels,
Sha'Carri
I
Richardson on the
agree with
4x100.
that.
We know that, but I'm telling you,
Ravels, I agree with that. It should happen, but ain't none of that gonna actually happen. Not at this point. That's what I'm saying. I believe that should happen, just like it would happen if somebody else was a victim. But because a black man was the victim, ain't none of that about to happen.
Well, the problem is Sha'Carri is not really. She's not as replaceable as other athletes. Like if it was the men's basketball, you can replace a cat on the basketball team, replace a cat on the soccer team. You can't. It's hard to replace somebody on a 4x1 team.
It's not about just she's hard to replace. The problem is the victim was a black man, so it don't count. It's not about who did it. It's about who the victim was. If she would have did this to some white woman who ran track, some white woman on some basketball team, some white woman who did anything, there would be a much different reaction. It was a black man that she did it to, so people don't really care.
So Sha'Carri made a good decision on
white people running track.
So in other words,
You know white
Sha'Carri
people don't run track, right?
go ahead and hit and keep on. So in other words, Sha'Carri can just keep on hitting Christian in the head with everything, even with the bat, and she still can be on the Olympic team despite all that. Right, Raj?
I mean, you can't do anything where you just push the envelope and just do it forever. But if she would have hit him with the bat this time, she'd still be on the Olympic team. Nothing was gonna happen.
I don't know, Roger. I don't know.
Y'all ain't getting it because y'all think it's about Sha'Carri. It's not about Sha'Carri. It's about somebody doing something to a victim that's not a black man. It didn't make a difference who did the act. The issue is who's the victim.
Damn, she can even shoot the man and nothing will happen to her. Wow.
I think the Olympics with how bad that makes the Olympics look. I get what you're saying, Roger.
Look to who? A bunch of people that don't care about black. Look to who?
If the public keeps seeing Sha'Carri whoop on his brother, they got to sit her ass down.
The thing is, nobody can get away with doing the same thing forever. Let Sha'Carri go. Let her go. Take her out of it, man. The issue is somebody did something to a black man, so therefore it's not a big deal. If this was anybody else who did something to a person who's not a black man, this would be a big deal. It's not a big deal because the victim is a black man.
So in other words, if she gets in the incident, he stabs Christian or even shoots.
It's not about her. Nobody can keep doing the same thing over and over again because that's going to say everybody around that person's in jeopardy, and that's still not about what I'm saying. If you make a case that anybody's in jeopardy around you, they're going to stop you because anybody is in jeopardy. What I'm telling you, the reason this is no big deal is because the victim was a black man. I don't understand why y'all can't wrap y'all mind around this.
It made it to TMZ, Roger. So it's not like pushed under the rug. It's not being pushed under the rug.
What penalty has she faced? TMZ put out all kinds of stuff because they do a lot of speculation stuff, a lot of gossip stuff. They do stuff that's real. I'm not saying they don't do real stuff too. I just know TMZ put a lot of news out. But what penalty did she get? Being on TMZ is not a penalty.
No, the penalty, she was able to evade the penalty because of the brother.
This is what I'm saying.
He dropped the charges.
What I'm telling you is she got no penalty.
Yeah, he shouldn't have dropped those charges.
Because she wasn't legally penalized. Just because she wasn't legally penalized doesn't mean other people didn't have to penalize her. Y'all talking about the Olympics. The Olympics ain't trying to penalize her. They don't need her to have no conviction in a legal situation to penalize her. That's the Olympic Committee. They do what they want to do.
And they should.
They want her on the team.
They want her on the team. That's what I'm saying. They want her on that 4x1. They want her on that 4x1 team and running that 100. That's 110. They want her on that 110.
Y'all not getting.
That's at least 4 medals out of her right there. They want her on the team.
Y'all not getting me. I know they want her on the team, and all she did was
mess pull at least 4 medals out of Sha'Carri. So they want her on the team.
I'm not saying they don't want her on the team.
She's going to have to make sure.
Well, all I'm saying is I'm not saying they don't want her on the team.
And the Olympics.
Bro,
Yeah.
this is what
Yeah.
I'm
So
saying.
between now
I
and
get that
anything
they
major that
want her.
comes up, she's gonna have to make sure that she runs it straight and narrow.
Yeah, no, this is what I'm
Right.
saying to you.
Otherwise,
No, this is what I'm saying to y'all. Yeah, they want her on the team, and why should we do anything? Because the victim was a black man, so of course we're gonna keep her on the team. She didn't hurt no white woman. She didn't hurt no white man. She didn't hurt no Asian guy. She didn't hurt no Asian woman. Why would we do anything to say that this is a problem? No, we're gonna be quiet about this. Now, maybe she do something to somebody else, and then we'll come out and give her a warning. But we ain't gonna do nothing because all she did was jump on a black man. Why would I risk medals over some black man?
okay,
I get
I
it.
got your point.
They saying
I'm not gonna
the
dispute that.
black man can take the beating. The black man can take the beating. I get that, Roger. I do get that part. But man, there
So,
got to be something else at the end
so
of
it's
this
not
shit,
even
man.
about Sha'Carri. It's about who the victim is. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
America thinks a black man can take a beating. I'm with you on that. I'm
And,
with you
and
on that.
what I'm saying is, if anybody would have done something, if anybody else would have been at the airport and got caught jumping on somebody that's also, especially it don't even have to be, but if they are Olympic level person themselves, and you get caught jumping on them, and they're anything other than the black man, Sha'Carri in trouble. Period. She might not make the Olympics. Period. They're gonna let the medals go, as y'all say. They're not gonna stand by her beating up some Asian person. They're not gonna stand by her beating up some white person. They're not gonna stand
If
by her beating up some Indian person.
if Sha'Carri was still living an alternative lifestyle and she beat up her girlfriend in the airport, I agree with you that it would not be the same as her beating up her black boyfriend. I agree with you on that.
And it ain't got nothing to do with alternative lifestyle. It got something to do with who the victim is. The
That's
victim
what I'm
was a black
saying. Yeah,
man.
that's what I'm saying. If she was
No,
still
because
doing that,
you putting on qualifiers. Ain't no
no,
qualifier.
right, that's what she used to be. That's what I'm saying. So if she was still doing that, there would probably be more pushback from that. But she's not doing that anymore. She's dating black men. So I do agree with you that they took her beating on him easier than they would have if she was living the old lifestyle she was. That's all I meant by that. I wasn't even trying to bring that up like that.
Okay. Because I'm saying ain't no qualifier. It happened to a black man, so it don't matter. We're not gonna mess up what we're doing because she hit some black guy. Now I am gonna try to find the video because a lot of places I looked, they had like the video blurred out. Y'all know people be worried about if they put something up and it shows something that, they're gonna take your video
Yeah.
down, give you a strike and all that type of stuff. So I'm gonna try to see a
No, I
good
mean,
clear.
even if you don't find the video, I could explain it to you real quick. I don't know if they took it down, but it's about 5 minutes of her literally walking this dude around, pushing, shoving, up in his face, hitting on and all this other stuff. She did everything except, make a fist and actually punch him in the face. Like she was berating him pretty hard. Like you could see her. So my thing is, if she's doing that in public, what is going on? If it's that bad in public, it's worse behind at the apartment. It's worse at the house. So we know that.
It definitely
Because the
starting to
only
sound
reason
like
you even feel like comfortable is that's what you're used to doing, right?
then it's definitely sound like he should be pressing charges because it sounds like he got dog walk.
Yeah, because think about it. Compare this to there was no physical marks, but look at Chris Brown versus Rihanna, right? And she's been everybody kind of got away from her, and basically he's still paying for it to this day, right? He's still getting money, and we get all of that, but he lost millions of dollars in the process. There's people that want to invite him to still to this day. And how many years ago was that?
It's part of his
He's not
character.
getting what he should be getting based on his talent.
That's
It's part
about
of his
20 years
character
ago.
now. They made it part of his character. When he did it, they actually made it part
Yeah.
of his character. When Sha'Carri did it, they're not saying this is character defining.
Yeah, and the difference
Well,
between
the thing is
Chris
that this
Brown
is
and her is Chris Brown was in a fight that he happened to win. I haven't heard
and there were marks and a
Kristen
whole bunch
touched
of other
her
stuff.
at all.
Yeah.
So Kristen
Well,
wasn't in no
so
fight.
I know you,
Kristen just got
Raj,
abused.
I know you saying you're trying to make this about the victim, right? But here's the thing:
That's flawed
this is
victory.
still okay. No. Okay, so look, the first incident that kept her out of the Olympics was that was like low level strike one. This is higher level strike two. Another incident, that's going to be her strike 3. That's
Roger
what
said
it's
this
going
is
to
not
be.
a strike 2, and I'm
Yeah, I
almost
don't
kind of
believe it's strike
agreeing.
2 at
I'm
all.
kind of
Yeah, no,
almost kind of agreeing.
it may not be mega level strike 2, but it's at least mid level strike 2
I'm
because
agreeing with Roger. I don't know if that's a strike 2. I
This,
don't know. That weed was a
this
strike 1.
the
This
first incident
I don't know.
affect everybody. They couldn't just let that ride. This only affected some
yeah,
random black guy. I don't think this is a strike.
well, but the thing is that this is adding to the negative pattern of behavior that's going to keep her away from her actual profession and off the team and making money.
No, I mean that could very much happen to her. But what I'm saying is, if she does something again, she's putting the Olympics in a position where they got to do something, or they're not protecting what they need to protect. But this, they won't come out and make a statement. They're not going to even make a statement about this, is what I'm saying. I doubt they even make any written statement about this because they're just going to ignore it. Now, if she do something
We're not,
again,
Roger. They're going to ignore it because we're not in an Olympic year, so they don't have to make a statement. My thing is that this is going to count against her for any possible future negative behavior. I'm telling you.
no, I'm
And so,
saying
and I get that you're saying the victim in this incident is not an important because he's a man, black man, right? I'm still telling you that this is going to show the progression of her negative behavior if she pops off and does something else. Because the next time it's going to be something else. And we don't want it to be anything else. Let's hope she straightens up her life from this day forward and gets the help that she needs and all this other stuff. But if
she's
she
not
doesn't,
gonna get no help because she's not getting punished. So ain't no help coming. We can forget
She
that.
need anger. She need anger management.
No.
She need anger management.
Hold on. She ain't getting no help. She's not getting punished. She has no reason to go get help. Okay. What I'm saying is, hold on. Let me say what I'm trying to say.
She's got to do it.
If she
Even
does
if she's
something
faking it.
else, I'm saying if she does something else to somebody and they come down on her, that's just going to be because of that particular incident that she does in the future, if that happens, and because of the other incident she had where she already jeopardized everybody. It is not going to be because she did something to some black man. It does not have to be an Olympic year for the Olympic Committee to make a statement. That's
That is true.
unnecessary. You know,
But they're not going to
it
because
happened
it's
to
not an
a black
Olympic year. That's
man.
all I'm saying.
There is no reason for us to mar our athletes acting like anybody did anything when the only person who got dealt with was a black man. That's not
Like
the
if she,
brand we want as the Olympic Committee. I don't want that associated with us. And it was just some black man who called it. So why would I act like it exists?
H Rev, what he trying to say is she ain't have to face no consequences. And embarrassment is nothing to black women. They don't shame is like they bulletproof the shame. So he didn't press no charges. So there's nothing. Like she's basically getting off scot-free. So why are you going to apologize for something that you ain't getting in trouble for? Why you gonna go get?
But the thing is, though, she actually had to. Like she wasn't okay. So you saw how she was acting in the
she
video
did
that
make
you
a
posted,
statement. She
Roger.
did
She
make a
wasn't
statement.
going to. Yeah, she wasn't going to say or do anything. She actually waited because I was waiting to see if she was actually going to say something about it. It took her almost a week to even get to the point where she even made a statement.
That
Right?
means
Yeah,
somebody.
because
It's only because
Nike had to write the statement for her to say. She wasn't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, bro, if this was some real stuff, she would have came out right away and said something about it. She only did what she was told to do because people was like, we ain't finna drop her. Nike probably did prepare a statement. I'm not gonna say they prepared it, but it makes sense that Nike would prepare a statement for her. That's a sensible thing to assume. But whoever had to prepare the statement, they just made a statement just so they can put something out there because they don't want stuff coming up about we're okay and that it's good to abuse men. That's all that is.
Yeah,
It's just
because
it's just show and tell. That's all.
if
yeah,
it
I
was
can tell you
somebody of
this was
another
handled
race,
differently.
Roger, she would have either
This is
got the charges pressed against her, or she would have got slapped in that airport.
Ain't nobody even talked about punishing her.
yeah. So
That's
yeah,
crazy,
so
bro.
and I'm gonna tell you. So they slow rolled this. You know that, right? So basically, because I actually paid attention to this, right? At first she got arrested, and then a few days later they had to actually release why she was arrested, and then a few days later comes the statement, right? So they slow rolled this. They didn't do that with Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy, well, he was sitting in prison the same day, and he ain't do nothing wrong. You see the difference? See how they slow rolled it for her, but for him, Xavier Worthy, you guys remember that incident, right? Him and his fiance.
Actually, I don't remember that accident. I don't. I actually don't even know who that is or
Yeah,
what
well, his
happened.
fiance was he caught his fiance cheating. He caught his fiance cheating. He said, "Hey, look, you got to go. The relationship's over." And she would refuse to leave the home that he was paying for, the mansion that he was in, that let her live in. And then she started fighting with
Yeah,
him, and he was accused of DV, right, domestic violence. He was arrested the
yeah.
same day, and
I
and
did it.
and
I
and
did a
You
show
did a
on her.
show
They
on
had
that,
they
a
had
Roger.
it
PI on her.
everywhere. It was
He,
all
he
over
got a PI.
ESPN.
He got a PI on her, and that's how
He
she
got
got caught.
Yeah.
but my whole point is that it went from 0 to 100 with him. We didn't even know why he was arrested. He was already sitting in the jail. See what I'm saying? We didn't even know why. And then that made it. And then within 24 hours, that was all over. It was all over ESPN, every sports network, every major news network, everywhere, all over TikTok, Twitter, everything. Right?
Because male
They
violence is
slow
taken
rolled
more
it.
serious because male violence is
No, no, no. The thing is,
y'all can call me
who
y'all
was
can
the
call me a
victim?
simp for saying this.
No, no, no,
Male
no. Before
violence
you
is
say it,
more dangerous than female violence.
before you say it, who was the victim when it got splashed out there everywhere real fast? Who was the victim?
It was Xavier Worthy. He was the victim.
No, no.
He was the victim.
As it was
He
put
was the
out
absolute
there,
victim. And it wasn't even clear.
as it was put out there, who was the victim?
Oh, as it was put out there, it was related as if he did something to her.
Yeah.
So it was put out there
Yeah, that's why he
because
was sitting in jail the same day.
she was considered the victim. She's
It's
not
gonna
a black
always be
man.
that way, Roger.
She's not a black man.
Because black men are seen as strong, fast performance. They look at the performance of a black man as high. So they like, man, that woman didn't really do nothing to him. And to a certain extent, they're not gonna look at this. They're
Nah,
not gonna look at
Pastor.
What Sha'Carri did
Pastor.
will never be looked at as what like Ray Rice did. It'll never be
You're
looked
Pastor,
not
at
you
the
looking at
same.
it wrong.
you're
The
not
Black
getting
men
what
are
level
I'm
of
saying.
considered
strength is not there.
You're not getting
black
what I'm
men are
saying, bro.
considered the enemy, and whoever's going to do damage to the enemy gets a pass.
Bro,
And that's what Roger's trying to get y'all to understand.
Yeah, what's my man name? Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see how they did? You see how the public reacted to him?
They viewed him as a young black man that could fight his ass off, and George
No,
Zimmerman could
bro,
not keep up.
bro. They didn't arrest what's old boy George Zimmerman. They didn't arrest that dude for 45 days.
Zimmerman, yeah, he didn't get arrested almost a month and a half
Exactly.
later.
Because the
So what?
view of black men is that we are so high performance, they can fight so well that Trayvon he had to do what he did
No,
because
no,
Trayvon was
Ahmaud
beating his
Arbery.
ass
Yeah,
so
it
bad.
took almost 3 months before they
That's
even
literally
no,
how they argued that. They
no,
argued that he was getting his ass beat so bad. Yeah,
It's
you
a
got it.
it's a simple concept. In that situation, the victim was a black man, so we're gonna do everything we can to ignore it. That's all it was.
They did not say he was a victim. They said that he was whooping that man's ass. They
No,
said that he was a.
no, no, no,
They
no,
didn't call
no.
him a victim at
Bro,
all.
listen to what I'm telling you. He got killed. They knew what the story was, but since the victim was he was almost a black man because he was 17, it still fall into that category of a black male. We're gonna do everything we can to ignore it. That's why he didn't get arrested for 45 days.
Yeah, you're
They
right,
did
Roger. That's the pattern.
everything they could to
We saw
ignore
that with Trayvon Martin. We saw that with Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah, that happens a lot.
He was just
I
jogging.
can give you
He was
already
just
mentioned
jogging.
Trayvon.
Kev,
Yeah,
you
so
talked
Ahmaud
about it the
Arbery, it
other
took him
day. It's the
it took him
fear.
from the incident until they even started getting arrested. It took them almost 3 months before they even recognized that was a problem.
My
Yo,
point
Kev,
is,
you talked about it the other day. It's the fear of genetic annihilation. And who's the people that could genetically annihilate a race? The man. So what Roger's trying to tell you is anything that is going against a black man, you're gonna get off for it as long as you're not a black man. Because therefore they could castrate that black man who did it to the black man.
yeah. And
I
what
get
I'm
it.
trying to say
We're the
is,
problem.
you don't have to be any man that's noteworthy at all. Trayvon Martin was not a noteworthy individual. I'm not saying this to disrespect him. I'm just saying what the reality is. He was a 17-year-old kid that hadn't even gotten out of high school yet. He hadn't done nothing, quote unquote, noteworthy yet. He may have.
He
He
could
just didn't get a
fight.
chance to.
He could fight well enough to beat a grown man's ass to the point where he got scared and pulled a gun and shot him. They're not going to view that the same, Roger. They're just not. I mean, I
Look,
get
you
what
know
you're
what?
saying, but it's not going to get viewed the same. Black men can fight pretty good. I don't run
Don't
up on
nobody,
any. I just don't run up on
bro.
brothers like that because
That
I know
that
these
is
niggas can fight.
that is not what society's motivation is. But we got Dwight Dorsey coming up, so I'm gonna give Dwight Dorsey the mic. You got the mic, Dwight.
I don't see nobody up there. Ain't nobody after me, Raj.
I see him.
Oh yeah, you clipping them in the cut.
Yeah, I thought it was somebody we know, but now I'm starting to think it's somebody we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know Dwight Dorsey.
The number to Nike's corporate office is 1-800.
Nike calling up here to cuss you out, Roger.
I ain't said nothing about Nike. I just said Nike could have prepared a statement, but I can't say that Nike did it. I don't know if they prepared it or not.
Man, Nike got some money tied
They're
up with
not. They're probably not
Sha'Carri.
going to. I don't remember seeing
Nike got
anything from
some,
them. Matter of
but
fact, it
Nike
looked
got
like
some. Nike got some
it was
money.
probably Nike that
They
gave
got
her
the
the
most
statement.
money tied up for Sha'Carri.
The number to
that's why I
Nike's
said.
corporate office is 1-800-344-6453.
Hold on.
Just do it.
Bro,
Just do it. Ain't that what they say?
Bro, shut up. Dang. Hold on. I'm trying to actually let the number be heard because people was talking. Why y'all can't act like y'all got sense, man? Look, I don't know who you are. I ain't mad at you. I'm literally trying to let the number be heard. And I'm trying to get you amongst other people to be quiet so the number can be heard.
Are you gonna be a simp and let her get away with it?
Bro,
It's your choice.
Bro, you can do whatever you want to do, but you're gonna have to be respectful over here. You may have a good intention, but you may not. But whatever you're doing over here, you're gonna act. You're
I was up there,
gonna
blah
do it
blah blah, and I
respectfully.
called.
Bro, do it respectfully. If you actually trying to help, and I'm trying to get people to be quiet so the number can actually be heard. If you actually had a good intention for people to call, you would want the place quiet so the number can be heard.
I can't hear you.
Bro,
I
don't
can't hear you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know when people are talking or not.
Listen to me right now. Listen to me right now, because obviously you're an agent. Now, if you try to help right now, say the number, make it clear where everybody can hear what the number is.
Okay, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to let you
Don't do
go.
nothing else but that. Say the number so we can hear it clearly, because I think you're an agent. So if you ain't gonna say that number, just get off my show.
Then shut the fuck up and let me tell the number. 1-800-344-6453.
We'll Google it, man. We'll Google it.
Man, don't nobody give a fuck about your little bullshit ass show. You simp ass, pussy ass nigga.
We'll Google it. You an agent, just like I knew it was an agent. Y'all don't be so quick to think people really trying to help all the time. Okay? Because truth be told, if he really want the number to get her, he would have been trying to let it be quiet so it could get her. And truth be told, if he just wanted to put the number out there, he would have put it in the chat. That's how.
Told you that nigga worked for Nike.
Dude, that was wild, Raj. I don't know why he did that.
I mean, niggas be niggas.
He ain't have to cuss you
man.
out.
You know why? He wants to help white supremacy, and his whole thing was, I'm trying to prove that black men ain't gonna do nothing. That's what he was trying to do it for. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, he on the women's side.
Well, he did say that. He said, y'all ain't gonna do shit, you pussy ass niggas.
No.
He
I'm
did
saying,
say that.
just him getting mad right there and saying what he said, that should make it kind of pretty clear what he was on. At the end of the day, the dude was an agent.
That was a good call.
Really, Roger?
That was a good call, Roger, because at first I was like, give the man a chance, but that was actually, I was wrong. That was a good call, Roger.
I was trying to get y'all to be quiet. It ain't like he's so stupid he don't know what I'm doing. He know he talking through people and I'm telling people to be quiet. So he know what I'm doing. Now, and real talk, like I said, if he just wanted the number known, he threw it in the chat. That ain't hard. You don't have to come to a panel to say a number. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even know if it's the right number. So truth be told, calling is one thing. Writing a letter is even better. Or writing some postcards is even better. And I'm good with somebody actually doing that. But truth be told, I can't even trust a nigga like that to give me the right number. It's better that we just Google it. So at least we know we get something correct. That's real talk, y'all.
And that is right, Roger. You said we can Google it rather than deal with you, because
Yeah,
that nigga, at that point, it wasn't even worth it, because Because he was saying crazy shit. I know I say crazy shit sometimes, but
I
I mean
mean,
it from a good heart.
my thing is, you let it go. He's not important. We're not gonna make him important. At
I
the end
thought
of
it was
the day.
Marcus.
No, I was thinking somebody else, but I ain't gonna even worry about it. I ain't gonna say who I'm thinking about. I'll tell y'all after the show maybe, but it ain't that serious. He's not a big deal, not important. You know what I'm saying? And the idea still stands that people actually contact them. Okay. Now, the first thing, you're actually doing the first thing because I'm saying something about this stuff, which is my job as a content creator to get to some real stuff. Now, I know a lot of people just talking about this because they just want to talk about gossip. And that's it. My thing is, this is not a moment for gossip. This is a moment for, how should we really be moving about these situations and to be realistic. Do I expect him to break up with her? Not necessarily, because I have no idea how long they've been together. Do I expect him to be a man trained into some of the stuff that I say? No, not at all. Because like I told y'all before, I don't know any black man besides myself personally that ever broke up with a woman. And none of my friends did it. Okay. I don't know that my brothers did it. I don't know if my cousins did it. I don't know any black man who broke up with a woman. I'm not saying
All my
nobody
women
did
broke up
one,
with
but
me.
I definitely don't know of one.
I broke
All of
up
my
with
women
two.
broke up with me, Roger, and it's okay, man. I accept it, Roger. I accept that shit like a black man, but all my women left my ass. And I accept
Well,
that shit as a black man.
well,
Fuck it.
well the thing is, it's not about being ashamed of it. It's about the way we are trained to look at things. Because something that is as widespread as that is not a coincidence. That's not me, running into a bunch of people who just coincidentally won't break up. No, we clearly have been trained not to hold women accountable. Because it's different guys who live in different cities, who live in different states doing the same thing. That's a training. It's not a coincidence. And that's what the important part is. So we do need to do things a little bit different. Now, I'm trying to but I got distracted. I was trying to pull up this video so I can see just how bad this dragon was, because based on based on what H. Rep was saying, my man done got dog walked through the airport.
Now
And
she
I can't
dragged him
support
without a
that.
collar.
If
He ain't had no leash on. She was just
you
dragging him
mean
without no leash.
TSA didn't stop that shit from the get TSA?
That's
I
who
thought
called
TS
him in the
come on,
beginning.
T
And past in the beginning of the video, you see the cops come in. The TSA is literally who's telling them what went on. It wasn't even a
okay.
young. It wasn't even a young fella. Because obviously, well, not obviously, but that's just You just don't do that in the airport. You can't be in the airport arguing, raising your voice, altercations. They coming down on you. Like, even if you and your wife is like, nah, it ain't nothing. They coming down, and it is what it is. From
Yeah, and
there,
that's
it's
why
just on
I
their
say it
hands.
earlier. Even if somebody were to do something to me, I got to actually think about that. If somebody slapped me in the airport, I really got to think about that before I touch them. Because real talk, I don't think it'd be worth it. It probably be better than just keep on walking. I just got to catch you on the street. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna forget that you got away
Hey,
with
yo,
that, but I got to catch you on
Roger,
the street.
hey, Roger, shout out to TSA for helping that brother out, though.
yeah, you gotta give
See,
him props on
TSA
that.
finally did something good. They finally did something good.
And it was a bunch of white dudes that was in the TSA in the video that you see. I ain't really see no black dudes there.
Well, I'm glad they did their job. You know what I'm saying? Him getting pushed, I was like, okay, maybe they can work through that. But if he done got dog walked through the airport, like, bro, you need to let that go. Real talk. Okay.
Right? I'm I'm telling you, you can't even you can't hear the video. You can see the video, but you don't have no audio. And I'm telling you, you know what black women mouths is like. So she was probably hot talking loud in the airport to the point where everybody even noticed it. Cause she was trying to she was dog walking them on some old sunning them all over the place. She sunned them into a pillar, all of that. But I know she was talking that crap to where people started noticing and like, what's going on over here? And that's what I mean. So, but she did it.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool.
All right, y'all. Well, we are 23 minutes past the end time of the show, so I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all get some final statement, and I'm gonna close this out. Because truth be told, I'm kind of preoccupied. I'm looking for the I'm looking for the video right now, just so I can see it for myself. Jado, you on the end. I'm gonna start with you and work towards Shark Sim. So, Jado, you got first go.
Like, comment, subscribe, share the content, and that's it. Y'all have a good day, rest of your day.
All right,
Jado making a
Pastor.
sandwich or something right now.
Pastor's on you, man.
Yeah, I like to say, like, share, subscribe as well. And sometimes things aren't all fair in love and war. Protect yourself, brothers. I mean, I'm not saying get out here and do full out karate on a bride, but what I'm also saying, you don't got to be a victim either, and you worth more than that, brothers. Have a blessing.
Yeah. All right, and Turner, I'm gonna give it to you, but I'm gonna quickly say, y'all, I just wait for my closing statement. Go ahead, Turner. Go ahead.
Or just say same thing. Protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times.
All right, Shark is on you, brother.
I think Jado came back. I don't know, but as far as I'm concerned, hey man, like Pastor said, all's fair in love and war. If she put her hands on you and you don't want to put your hands on her, call the damn cops. Try to document stuff, but definitely always protect yourself, brothers. And SYSBM.
All right, and I'm just gonna say, if he got dog walked through the airport, I think Christian probably did the safe best thing. That's more worthy of his time to let it go and not hit her back, because I ain't seen this full video yet. So I'm saying this though. It was a female. Yeah, technically he could take it or whatever because he's an athlete himself. I just don't know about fighting. I ain't gonna recommend nobody fight at the airport. I think that's just a little too much trouble. It ain't just like fighting in the street. You're gonna deal with a little too much if you get into a fight at the airport. If y'all got beef, man, just let that go till y'all get out the airport. That's my advice. Let it go. Wait till you out the airport. It is what it is. All right. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Shout out to the agent that came up, even though you wasn't serious, because you could have just, like I said, put the number in the chat if you was actually serious. So we know you ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you over here talking about other guys ain't gonna do nothing. Bro, you didn't even put the phone number in the chat. So it's hard for me to believe you did anything. Okay. I don't know you. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's just me guessing, but based on your behavior, no, I really do believe you didn't do anything. And that's just the truth. How you present yourself does matter, bro. How you present yourself does matter. All right. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.